D11 Sports presents St. Luke's Sports Medicine Game of the Week.
Picture perfect night here, maybe, at Maloney Stadium in Phillipsburg. Big Central Conference football actions. Our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. The Red Devils from Ridge with a record of 1-0, taking on the State Liners from Phillipsburg with a record of 1-0. Hi and welcome everyone inside the booth here. Al DiCarlo, Matt Marcus, so glad you could join us, and it's been last 48 hours. It rained last night with Northampton and Stroudsburg. We didn't get the game in. They're playing at 3 o'clock. Tonight we saw some lightning, but it has gone away. We even saw a rainbow, and hopefully it stays away.
Yeah, your definition of picture perfect is a little off, but there is a window, and we hope to run right through it.
A picture perfect window. We'll see what happens from there. Andy West, the head coach for the Red Devils from Ridge. They're coming off a win against Monroe Township by a score of 41-7. One of their key players is their quarterback in Ryan Olivo.
Absolutely. Ryan Olivo, 6 of 10 for 163 yards and a touchdown. Also chipped in with 5 carries, 47 yards and a score. This is a team that 3 players combined for 170 yards on the ground.
Now for Frank Duffy and his State Liners, they're coming off a big win as well. Almost the identical score. They beat Sayersville by a score of 42-7. Chet Genovese, their junior quarterback, second-year for him at quarterback underneath, and he's been doing a tremendous job.
Absolutely. 3 touchdowns in the air on that one. Also had one on the ground. This is the team. Total offense, 464 yards and 5 scores.
Well, we expect a good matchup. We are here at Maloney Stadium. We'll get ready for the opening kickoff when we return from Maloney Stadium. It is Ridge Red Devils, Phillipsburg State Liners. Yours next, our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
At St. Luke's Orthopedic Care, you can trust us with your hands, feet, shoulders, hips, and knees. Because healthy bones and joints mean you can do more. You can trust us to recommend the right approach to care, including joint-sparing treatments and therapies. And when surgery is the only choice, we offer options to help you heal faster, including technology-assisted joint replacements and muscle-sparing hip surgery. St. Luke's, the orthopedic care you trust, now more than ever.
The team that we have put together of sport performance coaches and athletic trainers is why parents should choose St. Luke's University Health Network for their sport performance needs.
St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that a student athlete would want. And I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
We are back here at Maloney Stadium, so glad you could join us. Ridge Red Devils and the Phillipsburg State Liners. Joining us right now are 2 student reporters. They are from here in Phillipsburg. It's Shannon Bickert and Sam Stinson, both seniors, and they have their first report. We go down to them now.
I'm Shannon Bickert, and I'm here with Sam Stinson. We are D11 student reporters. Today we spoke to both Ridge and Phillipsburg's coach before the game. Ridge's head coach, Andy West, talked about the importance of working on the fly and being able to adapt in those situations, which is especially important in today with the rain delay. He also talked about the importance of teamwork and working until the end of the game, since the past few games against Phillipsburg have been really close.
I got a chance to speak with Frank Duffy of the Phillipsburg State Liners. He said it's going to be a game of disruptions here. We had the rain delay, but the guys have chilled out for a little bit, listened to some music, and they're all good for the game. He says that Ridge has very good athletes, all tall, all athletic. Going to be a great game, going to be close like it has been in the past years. Back to you guys.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Been with our program here for a year plus, and obviously with our students, you've been doing a great job being part of this program and getting situated and getting them ready to go. As we get ready for this matchup, should be an interesting night. We want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Support for D11Sports.com Game of the Week comes from Sandrine N. Gutierrez, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton for all your investment needs. Call Sandrine N. Gutierrez at 610-559-6391. Located at 101 Larry Helms Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. St. Luke's is the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries, St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. During these extraordinary times, you can trust St. Luke's Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care. If you're a student from any District 11 school interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out d11sports.com. Follow your dream, get close to the action, take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to myself or Dave at d11sports.com. While we wait for the teams to make their way onto the field, we'll also bring in our New York Life keys to the game as Ridge makes their way onto the field. And we'll start with Ridge.
Yeah, first for the visitors, they want to execute assignments to perfection. They made a lot of mistakes last year with a kickoff return for a touchdown and then a pick six at the end of the game. And just like that, you want to take care of the football, which seems pretty obvious in this game. But 2 things against a team that you want to try to control the clock. Taking care of the football has to be the number 1 priority.
Well, meanwhile, as the State Lions get ready to make their way onto the field, we'll look at their keys to the game.
Yeah, they want to limit the penalties on offense. Also seems like a pretty key. And then eye discipline on defense. They're going against a wing T offense for the 2nd week in a row. They have to have their assignments. They have to see them and execute them, and that's what they mean by the eye discipline on defense.
For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. Today's game also brought to you by Culligan Water. Culligan Water asks, when is the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information. Culligan Water. And with that, we look down the field, and they're ready to break that huddle and ready to break through. Again, about 40 minutes or so behind. Matt, if it stays like this, I get back to my picture perfect, okay? And, we'll see what happens. But obviously, there's still some weather in the forecast. They have about a 2.5-hour window, so they know that as well.
Yeah, Phillipsburg did a great job a few years ago of putting this new field turf down there. So there's not going to be any mud, but it is going to be slick. We were down walking on the field a little earlier. It's going to be slick. That ball's going to get wet. It may change how you play a little bit, but these 2 teams are going to be ready. Whenever they start, they're going to be ready for the kickoff.
With that, we're into New Jersey. Obviously, we do all the games in the Lehigh Valley and get there. Come out here and you see the wall and you see 700+ wins, winningest program in New Jersey. It's always great, and obviously everyone knows Phillipsburg. I know them. I graduated from Parkland in '87. They used to be part of the East Penn Conference, so they're still across the river, but at the same time still part of the Greater Lehigh Valley. Yeah,
no question about it. No hesitation at all to cross the river. I was born on this side of the river. I got a lot of family with the garnet and gray, and they're going to want you to get the number right. It's 728 and counting, according to the website.
All right, I want to thank Kyle Fleming, the athletic director here, for his hospitality, and they've had that 6-foot hoagie over there since 1997, since I've been coming here doing games. Not the same one. They changed it, by the way. Also, Tom Fisher in the house. He retired, but he's still in the house as well. And with that, we honor America first with the God Bless America, and then with our national anthem.
greatest nation in the world. With the Phillipsburg High School Marching Band playing our national anthem.
You're ready to get this game underway, just moments away from the opening kickoff. Good look at actually in the middle of the field, you see Sam Stinson. He's also doing some photography, for his class. And, we got them double duty. They're doing a lot of work. They're getting in there. They're, and you've been part of us, since we started and seeing a lot of these students develop where they are with our program.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic, and I've said many times I wish this was around when I was a student in District 11, and to see their growth too individually. Overall, everyone has improved, but to see some of the individuals who maybe get involved early in their career, and then even after their high school career, still being involved in the growth is phenomenal to see.
Yeah, we have a bunch of students right now at the collegiate level and just doing a great job. Brendan Alvino, who graduated in 2020 from Nazareth, just had an internship with the Miami Dolphins. Kieran Lancheski became the first freshman girl to be part of an Old Miss TV station. She's doing part of the actual radio broadcast that goes across the country, which is great to see there. We have a number of students at Syracuse University and Penn State, and they're just continuing to excel. And Sam and Shannon, they've been doing it here for us. And again, we always talk about new things. Every time I see them do something that's good, I always try to find something that's not so good, so then they can get better and better. And I always say to them, we are critiquing you to make you better, not to critique you to make you worse and get frustrated. And I think you know it as well as I do. If you can't take criticism, not the business, right?
Definitely not the business for you. Sam brought up a good point in his sideline hit, though. These games recently have been very close. And last year, 28-10, maybe the score not indicative of how that game was played. There was a late interception return for a touchdown to have that extension of the lead. But keep an eye on Kevin Burgess last year, 98-yard kickoff return. That was down at Ridge after Ridge took a 3-0 lead. Ensuing kickoff from the 2 all the way to the house.
So we won't start early in this one. You mentioned 728 wins, 337 losses, and 50 ties. Last year, some stats. Genovese threw for 1,380 and 13 touchdowns, and also rushed for 323 and 7 touchdowns. Matt Skirbo Jr. had 486-plus yards and 7 touchdowns. Caleb Rivera rushing for 608 yards and 9 touchdowns, and John Wargo with 309 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Again, that was last year. This is this year. But with that, Matt, we always say more experience. It's been a weird week for both teams. Talking to both coaches yesterday with practices. I think Phillipsburg practiced, I believe, until 9 o'clock or 9:30 the other night because of getting on the field. Plus, you had the Labor Day week. A lot going on there for them. But they expected a delay like this. It's just a delay because it's been that kind of week.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, there are a bunch of kids who just want to go out and play football. You can tee it up at midnight tonight, and we don't want it. We don't want to be here.
Right.
But you can do it, and they'd be ready to play.
Yep. Last night we could not do it, and they had to send Stroudsburg home again. You're talking about even if the game started at 8 o'clock, you're done by 11. On a bus ride, you're at 12. Your parents are picking you up. You're at home at 12:30 to get back into school. Today's a Friday night, a little bit different. Colin, Hohe is your kicker for the Stateliners as he lines this one up at the 40. Again, we had some passing showers or rain, heavy rain earlier around 5:30 to 6 range and some lightning strikes. We hope that is behind us and we are okay moving forward the rest of the way. So Hohe has it. He's a 6'2", 150-pound senior. And we're underway from Maloney Stadium. And this one, they'll put in a spot right over to 30. It bounces up and picked up there at the 24-yard line. And still on his feet up towards the 31, 32-yard line. And with that, we'll bring in our starting lineup.
Yeah, we'll have a chance to see what they have to offer. We talked about Ryan Olivo, Deddy and Staglitz as well, Aiden Staglitz and Andrew Staglitz as well, that three-headed monster. Donahoe Wilson, Oliver Harrison, Ganny Giordano, and Fritz round out that Ridge offense. Wing T opponent for the second straight week for the Stateliners.
And that's, we talk about deception. Jim Morgan's did a lot of wing T back in the day. And, we've seen it with a lot of different teams doing it. And every time you think, even from the announcer standpoint, that you have the right call, you don't. So we'll expect it here and see what happens.
We'll say bear with us.
Yeah, exactly. Olivo. And he'll throw, start things off. And a nice connection. And about 8 yards on the pickup as he flew that one out to Aiden Stiglitz. So a good solid pickup on first down.
Yeah, Stiglitz last week against Monroe, 4 carries, 73 yards. That one obviously has a reception, but 2 touchdowns, 18 and 33-yarder. He was a big part of that victory. And Coach Duffy, prior to the game, when we talked to him, he mentioned the height of some of the receivers, the tight ends, the targets for Olivo. We saw it right there. Big kid with Stiglitz.
Yeah, they did get the first down. The ball all the way up to the 41-yard line already. And the quick snap to Olivo. And not much there as he saw some garnet jerseys. And they ate him up quick.
I mentioned that they did see a wing T last week. I think more options, so to speak. So similar but different. And we talked about that eye discipline and kind of make sure you're looking to what you're supposed to be looking at. Don't get caught being lazy out there. That's one of the big keys for Phillipsburg going up against an offense that you're not used to seeing on a regular basis.
Second down on the pitch back. The ball goes on the ground and it's loose. And that went right off the hands of Will Deedy. Unfortunately, it came right back up. It would be a third down in about 9 or so.
Yeah, you get that on the run. That could be some good positive yardage. But once that came off his hands, biggest thing was making sure that you held on to that ball. And the Red Devils were able to do just that.
So just underway from Maloney Stadium, just about 2 minutes in. First big play of the game. It'll be a third down. They'll call it a long 8. Taking a lot of time here out of this huddle.
I know they got the first down on the first play, but after that, you don't want to go 3 and out. If Phillipsburg already kicked the ball off to you, they're going to get the ball later.
Levo looking to throw. He gets flushed and with a false start.
Now you make it a little bit more difficult on yourself. And again, continuing my thought, it's again not officially a 3 and out, but from plays 2, 3, and 4,
nothing.
If you're going to punt it from there, that's a big momentum opportunity there for Phillipsburg to take.
So instead of a third down and 8, you got yourself a third down and 13. Down inside 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Dave Micah asked Coach West about, maintaining the clock. He said, we're going to see what happens and go from there. Olivo rolls, has his tight end if he wants him. Instead, he's going to take it and run and try to get some, and he just gets hammered and brought down and stacked. Patrick Day just lit him up.
Almost got back the 5 yards they lost, but not even quite with that. A big stand early on for Phillipsburg. It looked like he had some running room, had the blocker, but the blocker didn't block.
Went around him.
At that point, he was no longer going to be a receiver. And to go back to that quote from Coach, it reminds me of another quote from Mike Tyson. Everybody's got a plan to get punched in the mouth. So it's one of those things of, hey, we'll see what happens here. And so far the first punch was thrown by Phillipsburg.
I don't want to get punched in the mouth by Tyson. 4th down. And again, after the first down, and Dede lets that one fly, and it'll be picked up right around the 23-yard line, taken there by Burgess, and then there's a flag at the end of that play.
Now, curious about that, it was after the play was over, and those yardage kind of after the play are big in either direction.
Yeah, this is huge.
Looks like it's going to be a block in the back. Maybe just the flag was thrown a little late.
So Coach Duffy and his team will be pushed back.
You know, 20-yard line would have been okay. Now you're going to go back to the 11, it looks like.
We'll take a look at the starters after this play. 8:20 on the clock.
12-yard line officially.
All right, so they start things from the 12. Chet Genovese going to throw, and he's got a receiver at Skirbo Jr., and he gets up to about the 18-yard line. As we take a look.
Yeah, you've seen Genovese and Skirbo so far. Caleb Rivera had a big game last year. John Wargo rounding out the rushing unit. Ricky Krause is the tight end. Skirbo, Burgess, the wide receivers, and a line of Helm, Friday Johnson, Court, Ross, and Higgins. Strong lineup there for the State Liners.
We'll get the defense after this play.
Skirbo had a big game last week. 4 receptions, 120 yards, 2 scores.
Second down, they go to the ground, and absolutely nothing there. All white jerseys as we bring in the defense here for Ridge.
A lot of these same names, Oliver, Giordano, Stiglitz, Fritz, Wilson, Donahoe, and Mastriani. Those are the linebackers. Konovalov, Serlaco, Dede, and Ryan Olivo, quarterback, also as the safety.
Just realized we never got the Phillipsburg defense in on the opening drive.
Long
because
game.
that was that long play.
Yeah.
So 3rd down and about 6. And how about the heavy attack on Genovese and Ridge coming out strong here on the defense, about 3 and out for Phillipsburg.
Yeah, I think that was Aiden Stiglitz. We saw him on offense, and his height got the big paw up there to knock that one down.
Now you see your 100 years of football, 728 wins and counting.
We weren't lying.
No.
As long as that's been updated. Yeah, big stop there for Ridge, and you flip the field position with that penalty too.
And Weston Turdo inside his own 5-yard line, right around the 3 or so, takes a high snap. Here comes some pressure, and they almost got that one, and does a great job of getting that away. It's picked up at the 49-yard line by Ryan Olivo. Olivo makes a turn, and he goes down the sidelines inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. So we'll see the offense come back on the field, and a little extracurricular coming out of that pile.
Yeah, and you think about where they punted it from on their first possession, about the 45-yard line, give or take. Didn't lose too much time, just a couple of minutes off the clock, and good gain there. You flipped the field tremendously.
Now let's take a look at that defense for the Phillipsburg State Liners.
Yeah, a lot of these names, these players are going both ways. Rivera, Reagan, Friday Johnson on the line with Wargo, Day, Krause, Shabi, and Dooley as the linebackers, and then a strong line there too that we've already seen.
Yeah, 6:48 on the clock. In the first quarter, scoreless here at Maloney Stadium in Phillipsburg. So we've seen a lot of passing here in the early going for Olivo. Olivo will take it himself as he pops up the middle. Nothing there. So the interior line, both coaches talked about, taking care of business, and that interior line is going to be interesting tonight. Who breaks through first?
Well, and that's the thing. When you mentioned it before, we talked to Coach West about, do you want to jump out? Are you okay coming from behind? And, yeah, we got the coach speak of, we'll take it how it is. You always want to draw first blood. You want to be the team to go out there and set the tone. And so far, albeit early, just not quite 6 minutes in the game, so far, Ridge is the one with the positive yardage.
Yeah, we like asking those questions, right? Approaching the 6-minute mark. Levo will hand that one off to Didi. And again, nothing there. And you're in a 3rd down and long again. They ran 2 plays straight up the middle, and nothing was there at all.
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot the previous drive when it was 3rd and long and made it 3rd and longer with the false start. And, you talk about the not making mistakes, penalties, hold on to the football. We saw in the first possession the ball was on the ground. They were able to cover it up, but that was not a positive yardage play. And then the penalty obviously pushed them back a little bit here. Another big 3rd down.
They had 3rd down and 7 for Olivo and the Red Devils. Will roll. He gets out of the first one. Now he's going to try to make the turn, and he gets tripped up. And I'll bring up a 4th down. A couple players in there for the Stateliners, including Marvelous Shoppy.
And John Wargo was the first one. Almost got him for a loss of about 4 or 5. Olivo did a great job to get out of that, but then only picked up a yard or 2. But you're in 4-down territory here. You're certainly not going to kick from this point, and a punt doesn't do you too much good. You might as well go for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here. 4th down. They call it 7. It looks like it's less than 7, though, here.
They just changed the board to 6.
Okay, yep. Our guy's got it. Sean Riley's on top of that. He can't even see the scoreboard, and he's already changing it. And this one, a little bit too out of the reach of Didi. Didi had space on that side. He catches that ball. He's going for that 1st down.
I think Olivo saw that and maybe got a little too excited, put a little too much juice on that one. It would have been close. It would have been a sprint to that down marker, but becomes a moot point with the drop pass.
So 4:39 on the clock. Everybody wants to know one thing. Red Devils wearing green. Talk to me.
So apparently back in the day, there was one school with that was separated. It was
Bernardsville, yeah.
Bernardsville and what became Ridge. And the land was donated by the Red Devil Corporation. And they said, hey, we'll give it to you, but we want you to be the Red Devils. Well, Bernardsville is red in their uniform, and they didn't want to do that. So they said, we'll be the Red Devils, but we're wearing green. How about that?
Beautiful story.
Love it.
Absolutely great story. Coach said, I don't know if that's what you want. I go, hey, listen, that's the first question. That's the only thing we cared about tonight. So if you're Frank Duffy right now, you've got 2 penalties right now, start of each drive.
Yeah.
It's got to be frustrating.
No, there's no question about it. Your first one didn't hurt you necessarily, and it wasn't 1st and 20, but you're starting further back, and now you're going to start on 1st and 15.
So 1st down and 15, man in motion. They'll go to the ground, and a pile of white jerseys making sure that Wargo goes absolutely nowhere on the play. I think earlier I mentioned their home opener. Not their home opener. They played a week ago here against Sayersville and won 42-7. Now after this game, they hit the road for 2 in a row against North Hunterdon and Hillsborough before coming home on the 29th against Hunterdon Central.
Is it me, or are they starting a little earlier in New Jersey this year?
That's a great question, because I always feel like they always start like 8 weeks after the Lehigh Valley teams, and I thought about that too, but it does feel earlier. I'm not sure though. So 2nd down and now 17 after the loss of yardage. Genevieve's going to throw that one, and that goes right through the hands of Skirbo Jr. Skirbo Jr. just a flat-out athlete. We saw him in basketball, what he can do with the basketball. He's obviously getting offers, for football to play as well. Solid all around. He's only a junior. He's just continues to get better. We've been watching him since his freshman year.
If our student reporters don't make me feel old, I played baseball with Skirbo Sr. back in the day, so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
There you go. See, I knew you came with some insight,
I don't mess around.
Yeah. Inside 4 minutes, 3rd down and 17, a scoreless game here from Maloney Stadium. Trying to roll to the far side, and off the back foot just puts that one up. And no flags. I'll tell you what, the Ridge defense has been storming.
No, absolutely. That was going to be a tough play, and you never want to throw the ball when you're running backwards, essentially. 6 and out twice, essentially?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and add those penalties too, start each drive.
Well, he started out 1st and 15, now it's 4th and 17. They didn't gain too many yards in the first possession. Credit Ridge so far.
So Turdo, this time he has a little bit more to play with here. inside the 15-yard line. It was a high snap the last time he had the ball come his way.
It was huge, great pressure, too.
He's got to step back on that one. Here comes the pressure. Gets another great boot off. That's at the 40-yard line, and it's picked up there by Olivo. Olivo with a seam in the middle part of the field. And the Red Devils will start inside the 50 to about the 48-yard line with just over 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play here from Maloney Stadium.
It was Jaden Lucas, a junior running back, middle linebacker, but making that play on special teams, just the shoelace tackle, or else Olivo could have gone a little further.
So you get that feeling out period first, right? You're delayed a little bit for the game. 45-minute start on the delay. By the time you got out there, it was 6:30 to start. Players are finally, I think, getting into the mix. You know, you ask both coaches. He goes, our guys will be ready. You know, you're sitting, you're waiting, you're coming off the bus. You know, you're in the locker room. Now they're ready. They know. They're focused. I mean, it's, 9 minutes into the quarter. So this becomes a really interesting drive either way. Looking to throw, and that one's intercepted. It goes off the hands in the INT. And it's picked off by Patrick Day. Day made that big stop earlier, and Day comes up with a big interception off the hands.
Yeah, take a look again. I thought there was a great situation, just running right up the seam, but off the hands of Stiglitz. And Day made the play. Couldn't get too much further with that, but best field position so far, and maybe a little momentum for the Stateliners.
Catchable ball, he'll catch that 9 out of 10 times, just not that time, and because of it, it comes with an INT.
Tell you what, if you watched the football game last night.
Exactly same play, right?
Almost the same play. That one, they were lining up for the extra point, though. Not to take anything away from what Phillipsburg was able to just do. But, yeah, but we talked before. It's not muddy out there, but it's wet, and maybe that played into it.
So looking to throw, and that's a first down. I don't know how Skirbo caught that in the middle of 3 players in traffic in the middle part of the field.
Yeah, we just talked about how slick the ball could potentially be. Caught that fastball through traffic. That's the first big positive play for Phillipsburg and first down.
Yeah, it's the first time inside Ridge's territory as well as we approach the 3-minute mark.
First time they're in their own, outside their own 25.
True. Genovese will go on the ground here to Caleb Rivera. Rivera at 5'10", 185. So far this year, 8 carries, $156 and a touchdown. He's averaging 19.5 a clip.
Yeah, last year he had a 45-yard touchdown run with about 6.5 left in the game. Then he had a pick 6. Liam Slack with 4:39 left to really blow that one open. But it's 14 points right there. It was 14-10 at that point before the touchdown. So you talk about how close these games have been. We're scoreless, 2.5 left in the first here.
Second down, a quick toss, and Skirbo takes it and makes the turn inside the 30. And he really wakes up the crowd here, a big crowd at Maloney Stadium, as there usually is, with another great catch. Look how quick he was to make the turn.
Yeah, look how quick Genovese able to get the ball out, too. Knew who his target was. Skirbo did the rest. 8 completions last week. Half of them went to Skirbo. Half of those went into the end zone.
Mm-hmm. So the ball sits at the 29-yard line. Actually, check that. That's the 24-yard line. So from the 24, on the ground they go. And there's the opening that they were looking for, and the extra push forward will lead Caleb Rivera for a nice pickup on first down.
That's why you want to have that balanced offense. You start to key a little bit more on the wide receivers in the passing game. It opens things up. Maybe the linebackers leak out a little bit. Opens up the middle of the field for guys like Rivera and Wargo. We saw it with Rivera right there.
So off the turnover, Stateliners in business here, second down and 4. Genovese. And waiting, and now throwing into the back of the end zone. And that one, whoever wants it, man, looked like Ridge had it until the last second.
I thought Genovese was going to take off at one point and use his legs, stay behind that line, waiting. And when in doubt, throw it to number 10. Luckily.
Had to play a little defense there, number 10 did.
Yeah, luckily you live to see third down.
Okay, any momentum you could take as a team after end of a quarter or into the half, you want to take it. A minute 10, you would like nothing more. And if you're Ridge, like nothing more to stop them and see what you can do here. So 3rd down and 4. The ball sits at the 18-yard line, and powering through, getting the first down, and almost going the distance was Genovese.
Yeah, a little quarterback draw right there, designed run all the way. Again, you start keying in on some of the other guys. Who's he going to turn? Who's he going to throw to? Who's he going to turn and hand it off to? Saw that seam just took off. Now set up nicely right at the 10-yard line.
So Phillipsburg in business, 1st and goal from the 10 here at Maloney Stadium. So glad you could join us. Al DiCarlo and Matt Marcus. Our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Genovese will hand that one off and down inside the 5. So another 5-yard pickup. I'm not sure if he was down there. Was Rivera.
Starting to get a little bit more push from that offensive line. You mentioned at the start of the previous drive when Ridge had the ball, first couple possessions, maybe trying to feel them out. Now this is a 3rd for both teams, and Phillipsburg starting to exert.
Well, they're going to make the clock wind. Yeah, they're going to make the clock wind down, and it'll be scoreless at the end of 1 quarter, and they'll start things over in the 2nd quarter at Maloney Stadium. It's our D11Sports.com Game of the Week. A good one so far, 0-0, but Phillipsburg driving. Back after this.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
St. Luke's knows that trust is the foundation of all relationships. It's earned over time. It's the type of relationship you should have with your healthcare team. While our healthcare needs are different, one thing is constant. St. Luke's is focused on building a lasting relationship with you, earning your trust and putting your well-being first. When it comes to great healthcare, trust is essential. St. Luke's, the care you trust, now more than ever.
We are back here at Maloney Stadium, so glad you could join us. Al DiCarlo and Matt Marcus, our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. No score after 1. Matt, your thoughts?
Well, I think a lot of it was what we talked about in that feeling out process, and maybe we kind of undersold the delay a little bit. Took a little while to get things going, and you want to capitalize on opportunities. And one of the keys for Ridge was to protect the ball, and they put the ball on the ground the first possession, and they put it into Phillipsburg's hands in their 3rd.
So they'll go from the 5-yard line, and tripped up immediately. Not much there at all for John Wargo.
Start to look now and wonder. We 4-down territory, certainly in position for a field goal if you don't get in the end zone here. But
I think you really got to punch it in.
Something
right?
tells me, with 2 downs left to play and 4 yards to go, they're smelling 6. They don't want 3.
I agree with you 100%. Ridge, on the other hand, wants to make that big stop, and you see that front line. They've been ready. There are a couple of the Wargo runs, and we saw also Genovese get through the line there. But 3rd and goal as they mark this one at the 4. Actually looking to throw. Now flushed out. Nowhere to go. Genovese just airs that one up, and that one is caught by Skirbo Jr. Is he inbounds? Yes, touchdown. He went up and got it. A 4-yard touchdown pass. Genovese to Skirbo Jr.
Take a look again, because you might have missed it. Almost just an excuse me, I'm just going to get rid of this. Double coverage.
Wow.
I don't think it's a touchdown in the pros, but he's not in the pros yet. He's lining up for the extra point.
So the State Liners, well, they'll get the extra point as well. I wasn't sure if they were actually going to get that, as Colin Hohe kind of started going forward sooner than he was supposed to. But 7-0 your score after that touchdown as we start the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, I was a little curious about that extra point as well. I wasn't sure he was going to have the leg to get there, or if there was a penalty potentially on a false start, but I did get it through, and a great way to answer that turnover with 7.
7-0 your score. D11 Sports thanks Sandrine and Gutierrez, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley and Easton, for the sponsorship of the Game of the Week. For all your investment needs, call Sandrine and Gutierrez at 610-559-6391. Located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. St. Luke's is the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries. St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. During these extraordinary times, you can trust St. Luke's Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care. So it's Phillipsburg that scores first in this battle here in the Big Central. We talked about Skyland Conference, changing different conferences. Big Central now on the kickoff by Weston Turdo. And this ball will roll through and gets inside the 20. Actually, the ball was never touched. All that.
There was a guy close. Greg Duffy might be talking about this.
He's looking at it right now, but so Ridge looking for something that could have been possible. Instead, they'll start things off with good field position.
We'll get it at the 35 with the penalty of kicking it out of bounds, but man, was that close.
Extremely close.
It was dangerous to begin with to touch it up on a live ball there.
Those things roll up your sleeve. They're everywhere.
And then get lucky to get out of bounds just so you didn't lose possession, but then to be gifted with the yardage too. Nice way to hopefully respond.
We'll see what Olivo does here on his first drive, and he goes on the ground, and oh, wow. I mean, coming out of that was Aiden Stiglitz, and he didn't even make the turn upfield, and he got popped.
Well, he ran into a host of state liners, and John Wargo was a big part of that. Emphasis on big.
No, Matt, what I love about this stadium, you're coming down, you're going into Pennsylvania, every car's coming through, and they're all looking, is there a football game going on over there? It's such a great look from when you're watching and you're not at the game.
There's a reason they're still here when the school moved a little bit.
That's right. And the school's like a palace up the street a little bit. Nice toss play. And that's going to be close to that first down marker.
Looks like they will give it, I believe, just the second first down for Ridge since the first play.
Have you been up,
scrimmage.
Have you been up in the new school?
I've been at the athletic complex, a couple of the fields down below.
Fantastic.
I haven't gone all the way up yet.
College campus up there. So the ball sits at the 45-yard line. Olivo will hand that one off, and that's Stiglitz again, and he gets 9.5.
There was a star softball player who graduated last year named Holly Marcus. So I've been to the softball facility a few times.
Okay, all right. Some kind of relation going on there.
We're all related.
Okay. Second down and a short one. You're talking to both coaches. They expected a battle time. You go for 42-7, 46, whatever it was. They knew that this game, year in and year out, has been close. Olivo going to go himself. Needs that about a half yard and power forward and get closer to 3.5 and move the chain inside state line of territory, down by the score of 7-0. Only touchdown of the game was moments ago at the 11:03 mark. 4-yard touchdown from Genovese to Matt Skirbo Jr. in the back of the end zone.
Look, we joked about it, not really joking, but we mentioned a few times the 728 victories and counting, the most in the state of New Jersey for Phillipsburg. When you see liners across the chest, you get up for that game. So when you're Ridge, there's no doubt that you're going to get up for the game, and Phillipsburg knows that. These last couple of years have been really close.
Yeah, without question. Levo going to throw middle part of the field, and he will connect with Didi. And I'll bring up a third down in about 3 or so. Actually, they're going to mark this back at the just inside the 40-yard line. I'll tell you what, last night, Matt Avenger, myself, our crew, waiting to get that game going on. We're looking out. Just didn't feel right? But you want to get those games in. You know, the buses are there, the teams are there, they work hard for there. You got to drive. You know, you go back and forth, and they're going to have to come back on the afternoon on Saturday. I'm glad that so far everything's going great here and not an issue. As nowhere much to go there for Dede. Didn't need much, but this is going to bring up a long third down. Not a long third down, a third down that's critical. But they're probably 4 down.
Definitely territory. 4 down territory where you're at. We talked about that the previous drive or two ago. Is it me, or are we seeing more Thursday night football over in District 11 in Pennsylvania in general?
So we're seeing it in 2 reasons. When we did Northern Lehigh Northwestern, they started that 3-4 years ago. That's been a staple. They want to do that every year. They love it. It's the day before Labor Day weekend. Gives everybody a long Labor Day weekend. The other games, for the most part, are because officiating and the officials, lack of officials. I think it was 11 games so far. Looking to throw on third down. That one was off the hands and incomplete. Will bring up a 4th down.
Looking for tight end Rook Donahoe, and another situation of a catchable ball that hung up there. Fortunately, lived to see another down, but it's 4th.
So, I think it was about 11 games moved to Thursday because of officials. And I've said it, and I'll say it again. I try to say it every broadcast. Listen, you're a fan, enjoy the game. You're a fan, you want to yell. You're a fan, enjoy every part of what you're doing. But don't yell at the officials, because you lose the officials, you lose the game. That's what you can't do.
Nothing to do, yeah.
Critical 4th down here, 4th and 4. A long count here for Levo.
Is there a timeout?
I'm not sure if a timeout was called here.
Well, I don't understand. So Kevin Burgess, the defensive back, is going back just in case there's a punt. And maybe at first I'm thinking, this isn't a Hail Mary situation. Why is he playing center field back there? But he would be the punt returner too, and probably now even more so. But you want to, just in case you put somebody back.
So 7:25 on the clock. A lot of time going on in between that after that call, but I believe they are going to punt it away. So Burgess, who really hasn't handled anything tonight, and I think anything came his way so far, he's so dangerous when he gets the ball in his hands. Looking to punt, gets this one off, and this is going to be fielded at about the 11-yard line. Burgess flies through a little seam, and we'll get things right around the 26-yard line.
John Wargo got some good pressure on the punter there, too. And decent return for Burgess.
For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have your current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today.
So I like this. We get a nice shot of the defensive line. Between every play, they take a knee because they know they're going to go to work against the offensive line and the running attack for Phillipsburg.
Genovese goes on the ground, and he gives it again to Wargo. But again, we've said this before, and we'll say it again. Not much in between that line.
No, it was the touchdown drive, they got a little bit. Wargo and Rivera and Genovese had that big third down conversion as well with the draw. Aside from that, and that was one where you were really mixing in the passing game and the running game, it's been a brick wall outside of that possession.
So 2nd down and 10 for Genovese. And he's going to throw. And he has a receiver. There was some contact made, but nothing called. And that was intended for Skirbo Jr. Again, sometimes, Skirbo just goes up there. We saw it in the end zone, right? He'll go up there and get that ball and put himself in that position.
I think Genovese was a little late in that delivery. Skirbo was coming across the right through the P in the middle of the field. I think if he gets it out there a little quicker and leads him, he might still be running.
Mm-hmm.
They could put him in a better position to make that catch. Kind of threw it into traffic, stopped, waited a little bit, probably had to get himself set because it was a long throw. It just didn't work out.
So a big third down. Hey, they got to hurry up here. They may have to burn a timeout. There it is. I was going to say, they were going pretty slow there until they realized, when that back judge puts that hand up, you don't have much time,
right.
You might as well burn the timeout. Timeout brought to you by Culligan Water. Culligan Water asks, when's the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information. That's YOURWATER.net for more information. Culligan Water. Glad you could join us here on D11Sports.com. Our game of the week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. We'll be back in action next week. And if I could tell you where we're going, I don't even remember myself. We'll be heading north. We'll be at East Stroudsburg South hosting Pocono Mountain West. So the next couple of weeks, we go in the East Penn Conference, Pocono Mountain West at East Stroudsburg South, then Notre Dame at Palmerton, followed by the Thursday night game in Blue Mountain and Lehighton. So we'll keep on trucking and see what happens. There's a big game tonight in the Colonial League Schuylkill League between Blue Mountain and Northwestern. Both teams 2-0. Northwestern coming off a huge win over Northern Lehigh last Thursday. And Blue Mountain, I called it an upset at that time, beat North Schuylkill 17-16. So see what happens tonight between those two teams. But I tell you what, we saw Northwestern. They are tough.
Hopefully we can get a lot of these games in across the area.
Middle part of the field, nothing there.
Looking for Kevin Burgess that time and just not really on the same page. Burgess was still running up the seam. And that one dropped in the middle of the field. So big opportunity now for Ridge. If you can avoid the issues on this punt, maybe have the ball around midfield. Still a little over 6 minutes to try to get that tying score, knowing that Phillipsburg gets the ball to start the second half. They're going to call a timeout first.
Timeout comes with 6:17 on the clock. Timeout brought to you by Culligan Water. Culligan Water asks, when is the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information, yourwater.net.
We talk about that scoring drive and how balanced it was, but don't forget that Peeper got the ball at midfield after that turnover. And so when they've had the ball from the punts, they haven't done anything with it. They took advantage of the opportunity that they had. This is a chance now, again. Olivo is going to be near, probably about the 40 was where he was set up. So if he can get a little bit of return yard about midfield, have plenty of time to get down there, big opportunity. You don't want to come up empty, and you certainly don't want to give Peeberg the ball at midfield with a chance to go up 2 scores and then add to it to start the third.
So 4th down and 10.
Keep in mind, they've got some good pressure on these punts, too.
Yeah, no question. Hoey waits for it. And it's a boomer. I'll call for a fair catch right at the 40. See, well, nothing called there, but you saw what I saw. A little, the extra little nudge. Hey, by the way, I'm here, kind of thing. I usually do that to you. Hey, I'm here, by the way. You just don't want to get called for like a dumb penalty in a game like this. It's 7-0. You got the momentum. You're building your stuff like that. This is a huge 6 minutes. A lot of things can happen, but this is a huge 6 minutes, especially if you're thinking you're coming out like the Red Devils saying we got to score.
Well, no question. I was just saying you had a chance to maybe get the ball at the 50-yard line. Instead, it's just outside the 40, at the 41. So for Peeberg, you're looking at that and say, all right, this is better than what it could have been. You don't want to give him 15 yards because you're being silly.
Right. Next thing you know, the ball's sitting at the 45. So 1st and 10, they mark it at the 39. And they'll get about 6 on the pass reception in the hands of Ryan Turner, the 5'9", 160-pound junior. He gets popped right after the play.
But to go back to that little extracurricular, they're also looking at it and say, if we can get a free shot on the quarterback, not that it would have been free in that situation, but any chance you can give just a little bit maybe knock him off his game just a touch. I think you try to take it.
I try to do that to Dave every now and then, my partner in crime. But, he battles back. I don't understand.
I would imagine he's about ready to drop you one of these times, too.
2nd down and 5. Man, going to take it himself, but Phillipsburg not fooled at all. Is that Wargo?
John Wargo has been on both sides of the ball. 3 options back there. Which one's he going with? Wargo sniffed it out. That's that eye discipline we talked about.
Just got the shoelaces. That's all you need.
Even before maybe Olivo had a chance to even get that ball to Aiden Stiglitz, he almost tackled them both.
The first down marker sitting at the 49-yard line of the Stateliners. Inside 5 minutes to play. They're going to a little razzle-dazzle, not fooled. And the ball gets loose on the ground. The Stateliners will come up with it.
What was I just saying about giving them the ball in midfield or better?
It was 44-33. And check again.
We'll take another look. Tried to go with like the halfback pass. A sack would have been better there.
It was Ricky Krause.
Phillipsburg took advantage the first time, and now they're even better position. And sometimes you just get a little too cute for yourself. Halfback pass would have been fine. Halfback pass is your perfect scenario. A sack would have been number 2.
Yep.
To drop the ball in front, the last thing you want if you're a Red Devil fan.
So that comes with 4:37 on the clock. Said anything can happen is possible. And going for this one, and that one a little bit overthrown.
Skirbo Jr. had to play a little bit of defense there too. That was a big opportunity to give the ball right back. But I like what I see there from Frank Duffy and the offense of, hey, they gave us the ball, let's take a shot. You're in 4-down territory. You've got 3 more downs to pick up the first. Let's go see what we can do. Try to target our number 1 receiver in Matthew Skirbo Jr.
And we'll see what happens. You have 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Hoey can kick the ball as well if you need a field goal. But obviously you want to move the chains and see what you can do if you're the Stateliners. But you put yourself in a 2nd down and 10 situation. And getting some of those yards back is Wargo.
That's where it's worth the risk, though, too, of that first down. Maybe just trying to steal the momentum completely when it's all said and done. But you got a good chunk there. Now you've got two plays to try to get the 7 yards. Let's see if that quarterback draw opens itself up again.
So 3rd down and 7. Genovese gives that one up. And there's some space. They will get the first down. Moving the chains is Burgess.
Yeah,
I believe his side of the kick, that's his first touch of the game.
On offense, it is.
Right.
He had the punt. He had the first punt return where there was a penalty, and then he had the punt return where he got some positive yardage. But just the straight end around, needed 7, got much more.
So, new downs here. So from the 22, 1st down and 10. Looking to throw, and we'll connect. That's Skirbo Jr., and he gets down to the 5-yard line. So 1st and goal here for the Stateliners.
We talk about getting confused by the option. I was confused. I thought that was going to Burgess down the sideline. All of a sudden, Skirbo comes around. Take another look. You'll see the end of it there, get down to the 5-yard line. But just a great play and a great time to dial it up. I was just about to say, you've got your whole playbook at your disposal. Still now 3 minutes. I like the one they chose.
1st and goal from the 5. Stateliners up by the score of 7-0. On the handoff to Rivera. And Rivera maybe gets a yard. Now, you're Stateliners here. Again, your goal is obviously punching it in. Nothing but that. All you want to do. I don't know if you're going to see the Red Devils calling a timeout, but when you have a couple, you got to decide. Do you or do you not? So you get the ball back maybe and see what happens. Or, if they score, are you okay going in the locker room down 14-0? So 2nd down and goal from the 4.
I think maybe you see how this play goes. You start thinking about timeouts.
And that's how it goes. 4 yards on the touchdown. John Wargo. So 2 4-yard touchdowns, one from Genovese to Skirbo Jr., and now 4 yards by John Wargo. And an extra point away from going up 14-0.
Take another look here. Just straight power football. Hand off to the fullback. Barely touched until he got to the goal line. And see if they can have a cleaner extra point here. It was through the last time. Not the cleanest, but worth the point nonetheless.
And both touchdowns off turnovers. Patrick Day intercepted Olivo, led to a 4-yard touchdown from Genovese to Skirbo Jr. Ricky Krause had the fumble recovery as we get the flag here, and leads to a 4-yard touchdown run by Wargo. This is interesting.
False start on action that we probably should have gotten on
earlier,
the first one that we didn't get. You're not going from the 33 like in the pros, so shouldn't be that difficult. But it does make you think just a little more and makes it exponentially more difficult.
So Colin Hohe will let this one go, and he puts that one straight through. 14-0 State Liners.
So the more difficult kick, flawlessly executed. And we talked again a few times. Hold on to the ball. Key number 2 for Ridge. The 2 times they didn't, the 2 times we got extra points from the Liners.
Matt, we always talk about, when we said it before, momentum, right? Right now, it's all for Peaburg. You're going to go in the locker room, maybe up 14-0. Defensively, you don't want them to score. At the same time, there's 2:06 left and a couple timeouts for Ridge. Do they need to score?
Need to, no. Want to, absolutely. Keep in mind, Peaburg's going to get the ball to start the second half. So 14-0 you can come back from. 21-0 with what we've seen so far, that's tough. What you can't do is try too hard in this 2:07. They put an extra second up. You can't try too hard that you make another mistake and you give them another short field. You have to be smart.
And I don't think they're going to send this one long at all. Probably like a pooch kick or so. Let's see if it drops in between. This one will again. And that one gets through. That one was touched. And staying on his feet. Still on his feet. And they'll get the field position right around the 28, 29-yard line. So we'll see the Ridge offense come up with just about 2 minutes left and a couple of timeouts. Again, I always talk about with time like that. Well, there's a couple things. First of all, you got to remember, Phillipsburg has 2 timeouts themselves.
They do.
So depending on what happens with first down, then you decide, all right, what are we doing? But that being said, because Peaburg has the 2 timeouts, they dictate it as well. Because they'll say, all right, well, listen, you guys can try to run the clock out and not score, but we're going to stop the clock so we can get the ball back. So this first down is really interesting what happens.
I think with an offense that Ridge is capable of, we haven't seen it yet today, aside from a couple of plays. And let's be honest, Ridge is beating themselves tonight with those turnovers. You really don't want to give them some extra plays, though, either. You have to be careful with those timeouts.
Looking to throw, and they just toss it out to Dede, and Dede breaks a tackle, and Dede will get still on his feet. First down all the way up to the 40-yard line. Peaburg says they have the football as he got up. Let's see what the indication is. No, they say it is Red Devils football. I was going to say basketball. I'm way in this different season. Well, so Phillipsburg says they had the football.
Patrick Day is beside himself. He thinks he has his second turnover. I think they whistled it dead prior to that, though, and now it's a moot point.
And then the toss quickly for the first down and more to Ryan Swan. And in business here as the clock down to about 1:38. Wow.
And that's where I say, if I'm Phillipsburg, I'm not calling timeouts because we just saw them move in 2 plays. I'm not giving them extra time.
Oh, not anymore. Time comes in near side, trying to go over the top, and again looking for Swan. Couldn't connect, so the clock will stop. And then bring up a second down. But, you know, it's funny, and you said it before, talking about the wing T, but really seeing a lot of passing here in his offense.
Well, maybe too much passing because they put the ball on the ground. They bounce off the hands. That one, a very catchable ball, maybe caught in the lights. I don't want to criticize too much, but another missed opportunity. There were about 5 or 6 yards you could have had while stopping the clock by going out of bounds, too.
Olivo goes to the far side. They'll utilize the clock as that is complete to Ivan Konovalov. That's why I do these pronunciations. I hope I had it right.
Nailed it.
That time. So a solid pickup, and the clock stops at 1:19.
But if you catch the first down, that one potentially is for another first down. Here you've got to worry about the 3rd and 4. You want to get that first down, but you have minute 19. You've got time, and you have the 2 timeouts like we talked about too. They're in position here.
Here comes some pressure. Gets flushed out. Now he's going to throw and has a receiver, and he will connect with that receiver right around the 15-yard line. And again, it's number 20, Ryan Swan.
Yeah, take a look again. Swan got out in space a little bit, also put it in the right spot so he can catch it, get out of bounds. Thought again maybe Olivo was going to take off. He made the right choice getting it to his wide receiver.
So the ball sits at the 13-yard line. It's been a tremendous drive here, if you're thinking about it, for Ridge. They had 2:07, I think, when they started this drive. All this,
that was
about a minute.
That was at the kickoff.
It's true. It was 2:02 when they started the drive. Olivo rolls. Here comes some pressure. He's got to get rid of that one. He does, and he will connect. You're going to have to burn a timeout here, I believe. They won't. Andrew Serluco. Yeah, they'll get a timeout.
Now they got it.
So Serluco makes the catch.
Risky play, though, because Olivo was going back. If they bring him down, that's a huge loss.
Oh, yeah, the difference is about 17 yards probably in that range. Timeout brought to you by Culligan Water. Culligan Water asks, when is the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information. I've had Culligan Water since 1999. They do a tremendous job. They come out, make sure they take the samples, and just get yourself ready anytime you need it. And then, we put that little extra spout by the sink. Kids love it. It's fantastic. So just under a minute, 14-0 is your score in favor of Phillipsburg. However, Ridge driving right now in a solid game here on a Friday night. Week 2 in New Jersey, Week 3 in the Lehigh Valley.
And we talked about, do you need to score? Well, at this point, yeah, you do. You can't come this far and come away empty, so you'd love 7. If you can come away, if you have to come away with 3, at least you can go into the locker room with a little bit of momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Phillipsburg's still going to be very happy with where they are, especially coming out of the locker room with the ball, but both teams could be happy depending on what happens here.
From the 10. They have a receiver, that one incomplete, was going in the direction of Serluco again, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, I think try to get it out of put it in a spot where only his receiver could catch it, but it happened to be a little too far out where really nobody was going to.
So, Matt, you're going to hear the crowd now, right? You can hear it already starting. 3rd down, you don't get it. Are you going for it, or you got to get some points?
It's 3rd and 8. If I don't get any yards, I'm going for the field goal. If I can get half of them, I really consider it.
I agree.
I'm not going for it on 4th and 8, though.
Nope. 4th and 2, maybe.
Yeah. 4th and 2, without a doubt.
So 3rd down and 8. Crowd excited here at Maloney Stadium. The snap. And Olivo is just going to say, why are you guys talking about that? Because I'm just going to scoot in for 8 yards and a touchdown. And the Red Devils on the scoreboard. 8-yard touchdown run by Olivo.
Yeah, design quarterback run all the way. Had the lead blockers, a couple of them. Not really touched until the 2-yard line. Dives in. And a big drive after going down 14-0 to pull within a score with the extra point pending.
All right, no, I take extra points here.
Well, Phillipsburg's false started on their end. They've been offsides on the other end.
There's an 18. I don't have an 18 on my roster. Let's see if they fixed the roster that I had. Nope. I can guess it's Ryan Silva, but I'm not going to do that. But I'll mention the name because that's supposed to be the kicker, so that's all I can do.
Maybe his jersey was left at the Ridge locker room and 18 was available.
Well, either way, this one is up and that one is good. And with 47 ticks on the clock, we've got a game 14-7 in favor of Phillipsburg.
Now, if you're Phillipsburg, you say, look, last year Kevin Burgess took 198 yards to the house, answering the first score from Ridge. So you're putting your stock into that. You know, give us a return. 98 yards to the house would be great. Something tells me they're not going to put it anywhere near Kevin Burgess.
I agree with you 100%. And before I said to you with 2 minutes, you know, what are you doing with the clock and everything like that? Now you're Phillipsburg, and you said it. Let's see if they get to the 35-yard line, that range, and then that first play will decide and dictate kind of where you're going to go with this football.
Yeah, you know what? Again, if Burgess can get you a good return, sure. Anybody else out there, if you can get a return, give yourself time. 47 seconds with a couple of timeouts, with Skirbo on offense, I'm not taking a knee.
No doubt.
But again, I don't think they're not going to kick it to either number 1 or number 10 at the other end of your screen. It's not going to go to Burgess. It's not going to go to Skirbo. They're not going to get a chance. I can't imagine them getting a chance here.
Yep. So Stiglitz, just a little pooch kick, but, you know, they can get good field position, though. So that's really where they wanted the football anyway, right? In that range. Again, you're going to get a kickback and whatever, and say they kick to the 20-yard line. Unless you get that run back, you're probably going to be right around between the 30 and the 40. You get the ball right there at 30. This play is huge right here with 45 seconds.
Yeah, if you can get some positive yardage, and look, if you can hit one of your receivers on the outside and skip out of bounds to where you don't have to burn one of those timeouts, I think you've got plenty of time to see what you can do. I would have liked a little bit of a return, but you also lose some valuable seconds with that. Is it worth getting 5-6 yards? Probably not.
Well, Genovese is going to throw, and now he's going to run. Genovese is going to come to the near side. Now he throws, has a receiver wide open, just sitting there, and he stays in bounds. The catch is made as they wave for that by Felix Matos.
I think he was past the line of scrimmage.
Over here.
Yep.
I thought it, and I wasn't positive. Take a look. Let's take a look.
So the 33.
No question.
He got to the 34. And usually, as long as there's something behind that line, but there was.
You saw it there.
It was tough.
Right when he tossed it, I wasn't positive, but that was easy to replay. Good job there, Sean.
And I'll tell you what, I think it was Patrick Day on the receiving end. If we had replay, like professional replay, I think he was touching the white of the sideline. It's a moot point now anyway, and they were going to count it.
So the NBC thing that zooms in like that? Why, we had it. Sean would have had that for you.
Oh, I'm sure we do. I trust the crew.
Dave Mike is down there. He would have did it. So instead, second down, they'll come in the near sideline, and we've seen this a couple times. They go to the receiver back-to-back. That's Matos, who makes in his first catch of the night. Matos last week, 1 catch, 61 yards. That would have been that kind of play, right? That would have been that play right there.
Yeah, and you know what? It's tough because you don't get that long completion. You lose the down. and you lost about 15 seconds on the play too. So it was really tough all the way around. Now just 31 to work with.
So 3rd down and 5. Genovese. And Genovese just hangs in at about the 50. Got to burn a timeout right here. I thought they were going to take one here. They decided not to. They have 2 timeouts. Kind of surprised. Do you spike or do you go? At this point, they're going. Genovese looking, nothing there. You got to throw this one away. So I'll stop the clock with about 8 or 9 seconds left.
Makes it a very tough task at this point. Slow developing play. You never really got anybody open. And it took a lot of time. And keep in mind, if the clock is being run properly, that clock doesn't stop until it hits something out of bounds. So you floating it out of bounds does you no good either.
Right, so the ball sits at the 49, 9 seconds on the clock. You would think you'd be looking in the direction number 10. But with that, now I ask you as we take a timeout, brought to you by Culligan Water, and I'll ask you after Culligan Water asks, when is the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information, yourwater.net. Culligan Water has you covered. And right now the timeout comes with 9 seconds on the clock. And now I forgot what the question was.
Well, ask the Culligan one again.
That defeats the whole purpose. You know, everyone's looking at, Skirbo Jr. to get this ball. Is this your razzle-dazzle play? Is this something that you have up your sleeve that can change something where the ball is sitting there at the 49?
Somebody else is going to have to step up. I expect at least 2 white jerseys on number 10 at all times. Probably the rest of this game, if we're being honest, but at least the rest of this half. So that's where Burgess, use his speed. Can you get him cutting across the middle and to get out of bounds? You still have 1 timeout if you're Phillipsburg to try to make something happen, but you're going to need a big chunk play, and I don't know
amount of time.
I don't know you have enough time with 9 seconds.
Right. All right, looking to throw here. They'll come back, and they're going to flick it back. And down the sideline, and there he goes off to the races. Yes, touchdown. Wow. Kevin Burgess on the pitch. Holy Toledo. Well, there it is. Remember the San Diego Chargers, the Miami Dolphins years ago.
Was that the razzle-dazzle you were looking for?
Absolutely. There's a razzle-dazzle. They did it at the right time. Take a look.
So they hit number 10, as you were expecting with Skirbo, but the little flip to Burgess, and he was off to the races. I was keeping an eye. There was about 2 seconds. Was he going to step out and try to set something up? No. He was going all in, and he went all into the end zone. What a play.
49 yards for the touchdown.
Does Skirbo get an assist on that?
Skirbo gets an assist. He'll take the assist on that one. The extra point is up. Extra point is good, and it is 21-7 as they go into the locker room, and so momentum for sure, and we'll keep it right here, and we'll wait for our students to get Frank Duffy. Duffy may be halfway through the locker room right now, and we may not want to come back, and we would understand that. Oh, but he's coming across. Dave Micah, I think he tackled Duffy. I don't know how he got to him, but
Dave did his job.
Dave did what he had to do, and with that, we go down to Sam.
Coach, amazing way to end the half. What are your thoughts?
I'm just really proud of how our guys executed that play, that hook and ladder at the end of the half. We were aggressive with the 2-minute drill, and we want to try to get some points here before the half, knowing that we get the ball in the second half. So, defensively though, we let up that touchdown there. We got to clean that up, especially when they go up tempo. We got to have an answer.
Thank you, Coach. Great game out there. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sam. We'll take a timeout. It's our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. 21-7, Phillipsburg on top of Ridge at the half. Back after this.
Do you suffer from nagging neck or back pain? The St. Luke's Comprehensive Spine Program can get you better, faster. We're easy to access and don't require a referral. We'll call you, discuss your symptoms, and put you on a path to healing with the most appropriate provider. Call 1-866-ST. Luke's, option 6. or fill out the online form.
Interested in a medical career? Consider St. Luke's if you want to be a doctor or a nurse. Based in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, we are the area's only 4-year medical school and the largest provider of medical residencies and fellowships, and the country's longest-running school of nursing, trained at an organization that is nationally recognized in education, patient care, and quality. See why we are ranked the nation's #1 teaching hospital. Where you train matters. The best doctors and nurses train at the best hospitals. St. Luke's University Health Network.
We are back 21-7 as they end with a little razzle-dazzle. Fantastic. Let's take a look at some first-half highlights in this one, Matt. And you know what? Hey, the defense came to play. You know, some big plays. Defense leading to touchdowns.
Yeah, for a while there, we didn't think we were going to have any, but that was great job there by Patrick Day, following it that eye discipline. He followed the ball the whole time and really gave momentum to Phillipsburg. Genovese, I thought he was just going to throw this one away, but you throw it in the direction of Skirbo Jr. from 4 yards out, although the pass went probably about 25. First score there for Phillipsburg. They tacked on the extra point to make it 7-0.
And then more defense at the same time. They try to go a little trickery.
This one was kind of a weird one. You take the sack there. Instead, Stiglitz put the ball on the ground.
I think it was Aiden Vital that got the initial hit, but it was Ricky Krause that came up with a fumble recovery, and that helped out from there.
It led to a touchdown for Phillipsburg, but a great job here by the Red Devils trying to answer that. Pass down the field to Ryan Swan, was able to get out of bounds. It was only not 19 seconds because there's still 52 left here on this one. And we were talking, was it 4-down territory? And Ryan Olivo said it's touchdown territory from about 8 yards out. And Phillipsburg had some time, had just enough time. This was the one that was called back. Just crossed a little bit too much. You see a little bit, maybe he was in.
He may have been in there.
He might have been in, we'll never know.
And then this play right here to end it. Oh, not this one.
We're going to go back to that one because it was such a good play by Patrick Day. So good highlights.
Yep, good highlights.
And like I said, the first quarter scoreless, really wasn't a whole lot to go off of. This is the one we're going to give it to you again. Final play of the half. Little flip from Skirbo to Burgess. 3 guys. They were in position to bring him down, and he said, oh, no, I'm going in.
Well, perfect there. 21-7 at the half. We go down the Phillipsburg High School marching band. Enjoy.
Okay. Mr. Fleming, can you stand over here, please? There's a camera like up there. It's between the G and the S on Phillipsburg Salmonders.
Oh, got it. This guy? Or do you have an earpiece?
There's someone up there.
What's that?
Someone up there is gonna like signal.
Oh, the signal to you?
Mm-hmm.
So the first question is going to be about band.
Yeah, the transition from band director to athletic director.
Do you want me to hold the mic or you just hold it up to me?
I'm just gonna hold it up to you.
You want to go commercial?
Okay.
Sorry. You have
Huh?
to go now.
Okay.
So, at least to get a picture of you guys.
What are you up to now?
Right now I'm working.
Where at?
Send
Send it to commercial. It's fine. Go to commercial.
Rich Chanel.
I believe that St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that a student athlete would want. Hopefully they come to us and they leave and there's not another need to be filled. We provide it all.
There's not another orthopedic group, sports medicine group, healthcare system in the country that has high-level, degreed certified, years of experience.
On the ground, go!
Every coach, every parent, they want what's best for their student. Okay, they want what's gonna help them be the best version of themselves. And so that's what we can provide. I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
At St. Luke's Orthopedic Care, you can trust us with your hands, feet, shoulders, hips, and knees. Because healthy bones and joints mean you can do more. You can trust us to recommend the right approach to care, including joint-sparing treatments and therapies. And when surgery is the only choice, we offer options to help you heal faster, including technology-assisted joint replacements and muscle-sparing hip surgery. St. Luke's, the orthopedic care you trust, now more than ever.
21-7 is the score at the half. And glad you could join us here as we get ready to start the second half. But we have our student reporter, Shannon Bickert. She's down there with Kyle Fleming. Kyle Fleming, the athletic director from Phillipsburg High School. And we'll hear from those two moments from now as we get them ready to go. Shannon is in position. And with that, we go down to Shannon.
I'm Shannon Bicker, and I am here with Athletic Director Kyle Fleming. What has your transition from band director to athletic director been like?
Sure. So we're here tonight at Maloney Stadium on a beautiful Friday night. We spent many nights here with the band, and I think it's been pretty natural. It was a great fit. Certainly love being a part of this program, and we've always associated ourselves with the athletics program, whether it be the football team or any other sport that we supported. So a great relationship with the coaches. I truly feel we have the best coaches in the area. They're tremendous people and leaders. So it's really been a wonderful transition.
Looking at the football season thus far, how are you feeling about the football team this year?
Certainly it's off to a great start, 1-0 and nice first half. But I think what's really important to note is what a lot of people might not know about our program and how our coaches run things behind the scene. They have the utmost honesty and the genuine way to go about the program. Their off-season schedule is tremendous in terms of the weight lifting and conditioning program that they run. And they just raise men the right way here. So when they leave here, they're just better citizens in the town. And I think that's sometimes what people miss, aside from the wins and the losses, that is pretty important for us to highlight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Shannon Bicker with Kyle Fleming. So glad he could join us there. He's done a tremendous job taking over from Tom Fisher. Tom Fisher also in the house. He's up here, and guess what? There's about 4 more pieces of a 6-foot hoagie still sitting over there. Again, it's been happening ever since I've been coming here for sure. Today's game brought to you by Sandrine and Gutierrez, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. For all your investment needs, call Sandrine and Gutierrez at 610-559-6391. Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. St. Luke's is the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries. St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. During these extraordinary times, you can trust St. Luke's Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care. If you're a student from any District 11 school interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out D11sports.com. Follow your dream, get close to the action, and take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to myself or Dave at D11sports.com. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether your current coverage is in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. Culligan Water asks, when's the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information. That's yourwater.net. And with that, we get ready to start the second half of play. Again, game started late, about 45 minutes late because of the weather. We don't know. We have not asked, and we don't want to know right now if there's another cell. They kept talking about a cell at 9:30. If that's the case, there could be a situation. But right now, 21-7, your thoughts of the first half?
Well, it got off to a slow start, really, for both teams. We talked about that, how maybe trying to just feel each other out just a little bit. But Ridge made a couple mistakes. Peaburg capitalized. We finally then saw a little bit of the Ridge offense. And with little to no time, just 47 seconds, Peaburg able to go almost 70 yards, the last 49 on that trick play. 10 yards to Skirbo, the last 39 on the flip to Kevin Burgess. And, we thought maybe momentum a little bit. We thought maybe both teams could be excited going in. Peaburg had the lead, but Ridge scored last, or so we thought.
Mm-hmm.
All that's out the
so
window.
So we thought, right.
All that's out the window. All the momentum is clearly on this side of the field.
Al DiCarlo, Matt Marcus, so glad you could join us here from Maloney Stadium in New Jersey. I want to thank Kyle Fleming, the athletic director, for his hospitality. Has us right here in the corner where, I've been here for a long time, coming to these games, doing a great game. And believe I was told, and I forgot, the first game at Maloney Stadium, that was, renewed and everything with 97, 99, whatever that range was, I forgot. It was a 33-0 game. Well, I did it, and I forgot.
You kept saying that you were here for the opening. I was wondering if it was the 1930 opening and not the
I couldn't.
Not the 1997
Maybe
opening.
I was reincarnated. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But, no, I've been doing a lot of games here, and just, the atmosphere, whether I was doing sidelines down the field and you feel that energy from the crowd, or, up here in the booth. Always tremendous to come out here in New Jersey and get in a Phillipsburg game. And we're glad to have it here on D11sports.com. And, obviously we thank our partnership with St. Luke's and John Hoth and Greg Lay and Ken Sidlow and company for everything they do with D11 Sports and our student reporters. And we're seeing two of our student reporters tonight, Sam Stinson, Shannon Bickert, doing a tremendous job, with their interview skills. And we've had some great students from Phillipsburg. I believe we had 8 students or 9 since we started, over 80 in the program since 2019. With that, 21-7, and we are underway. And that ball's going to be right in the hands of, I thought Ridge popped it. They jumped right in front of it. I don't know how. Wow. Coming out of the pile some way, somehow, was Sam Deck. I don't know how.
We're going to have to look at this again.
Talking about following the ball. Take it up. Look.
Wow. To have
overran it.
To have the wherewithal to kind of catch that and pull it in sliding to protect yourself and the ball. What a play there from the sophomore Deck.
So 21-7 underway here, second half. You mentioned they get the ball to start things off, and this becomes a really, really interesting drive. While it's been competitive throughout, all of a sudden, if Peaburg punches it in, it's going to be a real uphill battle if you're Ridge.
Yeah, it's already tough. But 2 scores, if you could get a stop and a score and do that a couple of times, clearly you're right back into it with that. But you can't look at, hey, we need to get 2 scores here. You need to get a stop and you need to get a score. You got to break it down into little games like that.
No question. And they're going to keep it on the ground. That's the other question. All right, so now it's third down. They're going to probably throw it. But do you start milking that clock or keep doing what you've been doing?
I think naturally their offense with Rivera and Wargo out of the backfield, you're naturally, that's kind of their game anyway. Yes, you're gonna push it downfield, but even that's within the confines of maybe short passes to your, whether it's Burgess or Skirbo. You can milk that clock without deviating too much from your normal game plan.
So big play here, 3rd down and 7. Genovese is going to throw. And that's off the back foot in traffic, and who has it? They're going to battle for it. This is interesting. Ridge says they have the football, but holding on to it is Burgess as well.
The official on the far side
is pointing Peaburg's way.
Is saying it's going to stay.
Yep, a catch.
Now they're going to confirm that. But, yeah, they both went up for it. We're going to need another look here.
Yeah, that was talking about holding on to it. They both had the football. Take a look.
Ooh. I think when they landed, I think it was maybe Stiglitz was on his back with the ball. I thought maybe it was in his possession. Might have caught a break here.
Yeah, they get the ball back. So it's their football, ball to 44. And they'll go back to the ground. And a big opening. Still on his feet. 11 yards on the pickup by Caleb Rivera.
Rivera had a huge game. Might have heard about it on Thanksgiving last year. Not to mention the big play he had against Ridge.
What happens on Thanksgiving? So they play a game?
Yeah, they play every now and then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What a play there by Rivera. And that's, look, they have the strength. They have the bodies up front. You can milk the clock and also gain 10 yards at a pop, too.
Sure can. Ball down to 46. Wargo. And Wargo breaks through. He's got 10 and gets over the defender as he went right over Didi for an extra 2 yards.
Yeah, if he keeps his feet there. He showed some quickness usually it's just right up the gut. That time he came to the outside. Almost hurdled the defender, too.
Talked about Phillipsburg and Easton, that big tradition they have on Turkey Day. And, this year, Caddy Northampton, their 100th that they'll be taking place. They'll be at Caddy High School. So ball down to the 34-yard line.
Lehigh Valley needs more of that kind of stuff. The tradition, well over 100 years now with Phillipsburg and Easton.
Timeout brought to you by Culligan Water. Culligan Water asks, when is the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information. Yourwater.net for more information. Culligan Water. On a Friday night, week 3 in Pennsylvania, week 2 here in New Jersey. Some interesting scores coming out of Pennsylvania. It's Pennsylvania. We're like right across the street, right? It seems like we're so far away. Like I'm going over to George Washington Bridge in about 5 minutes, but
not going to cost you that much, but it's going to cost you a couple.
Not $16. It cost me $1 or whatever. I don't even know what it costs up here anymore. Hey, you can take the free bridge in.
Depends if you have Easy Pass or not.
Yeah, that's true. And then I never know.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, exactly. I never know what I'm doing. But Southern Lehigh playing undefeated team in Bangor, both undefeated. Last check was 41-0 or 41-6 in favor of Southern Lehigh. So ball sits at the 34 for the State Liners after the timeout. Here comes the pressure, and they'll throw it to the far side. Not much, maybe 2-3 yard pickup, and it's a Skirbo. So this is going to be interesting because it looked like he was down, but was his knees down, and then there was a little pushing and shoving afterwards, and now we see the little yellow hanky out there.
And Skirbo thinks it's him, and they're moving backwards. And that's exactly what they're going to call the personal foul. And you tell your kids, you're going to tell your athletes, it's always the second one who gets caught.
Yep.
I'm sure it was in retaliation, but it's always the second one who gets popped with the flag.
Yep. So we'll move it back. And we're under 9 to play here in the third quarter, 21-7. So glad you could join us here. Our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Matt Marcus, Sam Stinson, Shannon Bicker, Dave Micah, Sean Riley, Sports Fan Base Network in the house once again. Sean doing a good job tonight. He's working extra duty over there. He likes it because, in here not only do you get this sandwiches, he's got a Sprite, he's got a Coca-Cola, he's got everything going on. He's a happy camper tonight.
They paying for those ads?
No. Yeah, that's right. Forget it. He didn't have a Coca-Cola or he didn't have a Sprite.
But let's name him the second time, too.
There's a player down, and I think just slow coming up or maybe a cramping. It looks like that's what it hopefully is.
Well, it has been a hot week. A little heat wave going on in the area. It was in the high 80s earlier today. So early on in the season, not surprising. Remember, we did the opener last year up at Palmerton, and how many delays did we have?
Oh, man.
somebody did not hydrate. A number of somebodies did not hydrate that
If
week.
I'm not mistaken, I'm not positive, besides the praying mantis that we saw that night walking across our thing, I think we left out there at 10:25 on a normal 7 o'clock start.
Oh, it was late. It was for sure late.
Yep. And, we talk. I saw Tim Monsman, the Parkland head coach, in practice. You have heat acclimatization, and the week of heat acclimatization, it was 75.
Right.
It was great weather, and I said, woo, it's hot out here. And he said, this is ridiculous. And then, week 1 not as hot, and then week 2, bam, right? You start getting to that. But now it's like I'm sure not. Listen, we're fortunate right now. It's the first one really we had all night.
Chase Fritz, a defensive end, got off and practically jogged off, so hopefully that was just a little cramping situation. He'll get some fluids and get back out there with the guys.
First down markers sitting inside the 25-yard line, down about to the 24. Matos in motion. Genovese looking to throw and avoids one and not going to avoid the other. Or is he? Nope.
I think he avoided the other, but he didn't get the other.
Yeah, there was 3 that came in on him.
The third one finally brought him down.
If you're Phillipsburg, and not just because we're watching this game, but you see they have weapons. They are going to be a force, no question about it.
I saw a quote from Frank Duffy, one of the local papers at the beginning of the season, and the quote was, "This is the most talented team I've ever had." This is his 7th year.
That's saying a lot. Boots this one. No return from the 20.
You look at Genovese Jr., Skirbo Jr., a junior. Now Burgess is a senior. They're going to lose their running backs, but there's a lot of talent there, and not all of them are going to graduate next spring.
Well, if anything, if you're Peaburg, you do not score in your opening drive, but you took 5 minutes off the clock. Every drive for Ridge is that much more important to get some points on score. You're only down 14, but it feels like a lot more than 14.
Yeah, you sign up for that. You sign up for the 5-yard or 5-minute chunks here or there, because now, yes, there's the quick strike capability, but even if they score, you might be able to hold them to taking a lot of this third quarter out too, and then you're just shortening the game that much more.
Well, see, they have a short field here. Levo, will he pitch it back? Does not. Now makes the turn, still on his feet, and then he pitches it. Oh, we've seen that twice so far tonight. And finishing up the duty was Will Deedy on the far sideline for the first down, moving the chains, getting that crowd jacked up.
Yeah, so that kind of counters what I was just saying about maybe forcing them to use a lot of time, but with that quick strike capability, if you can punch it in and make it that 7-score game. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of this half. Don't look at it as we got to score twice. Look at it as we have to score. And just do that twice.
That's it.
Easier said than done, of course.
Send this one back. And trying to get some yards there is Stiglitz. Stiglitz standing there at 6'3", 205. Looks taller than that, kind of when he gets the football in his hands.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
We got Brady Wilson there, number 6, 6'2", 180. So inside 6 minutes to play, third quarter, 21-7. If you're just joining us here on D11Sports.com, Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Huge play on a hook and ladder. Last play of the first half, converted by the State Liners. Levo looking to throw, has receiver wide open off the fingertips. That was Ryan Swan. Swan was looking for that end zone.
Yeah, and I think he was going to find it too. If he catches that in stride, he had the corner. And maybe he was thinking that. That's been a couple, going in that direction, there's been a couple off the hands. There's been a couple off the hands a few times in both directions, and that's partly why Peaburg was able to jump out to the lead. But, the excitement of that end of half play. If Burgess steps out of bounds, we've got a 7-point game here. They're going in for the tie, potentially the lead, because they like to go for 2.
They'll pitch this one back. And there's some space hit at the end of that play on Deedy. And they will get the first down. So it'll be first and goal from a 9.
So if you're Ridge, you're very comfortable. You just showed what you could do offensively. I'm sorry, you just showed what you could do defensively. And let's not forget, the first 2 touchdowns came off short fields and turnovers. And then there was, we'll call it a fluke play. Aside from that, it's been pretty even. If you don't shoot yourselves in the foot, Ridge is in good position here.
And call from the 9. Dede gets down to the 5. So let's go back to your original thought. After they had that big connection, whatever, the clock is still moving, right? They're still taking time off the clock. Maybe not as much as Phillipsburg would want, but Phillipsburg they're worried about themselves right now. Hey, keep them from coming in and get some more clock, and then depending on what happens, I mean, if you're Ridge, now this becomes interesting. And again, I always look ahead. I think you do too sometimes. They have not kicked the ball off deep at all, and they're giving the ball at the 35 every time. Do they do that? Do they just say forget it and let's go for it? I don't know. Olivo gets the block in front. Olivo powers through, and he gets in for the touchdown. So a 5-yard touchdown by Olivo. And right back in this one is Ridge.
Olivo had a touchdown last week, his second today on the ground. First from about 8 to 10 yards, this one from 5. And there's that offense where you don't always know where it's going to go and who's going to take it. Quarterback, keeper all the way. But look, if you're Phillipsburg, you don't want to give up the score. Essentially, you gave, it was 3 minutes of time, wasn't 5-6 minutes.
Extra point is up and good. So 21-14 with 4:18 on the clock, still in favor of the State Liners.
But you're looking at it and say, no matter what happens on that drive, which now in hindsight we know, there was never a situation that Ridge was going to take the lead on that drive.
Correct.
You were always going to come out with the lead. Now, you would have preferred to come out 14, maybe even just give up the 3. You go out there and you put another 5-minute drive together. Maybe we're getting into the fourth quarter now. Now, if you can score again, you're back up 2 scores, and they've got less than 12 minutes to do so. This is a big drive.
Yeah, huge.
You have to answer. It's big for both sides. If you can force another 3 and out, even if it's not 3 and out, you can. If you're Ridge and you can get the ball with a chance to tie, that's what you're looking for. Yeah. If you're Phillipsburg, you want to get to the fourth quarter and you want to punch it in. You want to add to the lead one way or another.
And I just think, let's see. Do they punt this football away? Kick this football away and they could get beat, or do they leave it there that they get the field at the 35-yard line?
I mean, they almost got it last time. Let's see.
They go for the onside kick. The ball's loose. Ridge says they have it.
I think they do.
And this time they do. Wow. I saw a helmet come off there, too. That's dangerous.
He might want to put that back on. But
I don't know. I saw Joseph Danknowitz come out of the pile. Don't know if that was him or not. We don't have that one. Could have been Dankowitz. I'm not positive, but they set that one up. And they will have the ball at the 48-yard line.
See what we can see here. Off the up man.
No, it's actually number 5. Number 5, Rook Donahoe, comes up with it. Number 5, Rook Donahoe. Great job by Sean going back into that file system and bringing it back. So now they're going to go. So everything you just said.
Out the window.
Out the window. Now, all of a sudden, I always say this to my kids. All you ask for is the opportunity. Even though it's the third quarter, here's your opportunity. You have the football. Another cramping going on, by the way. You have the football inside Phillipsburg territory with 4 minutes left with a chance to tie. Last time you said, well, they couldn't score 14 in one shot. Now all they have to do is score a touchdown.
Last time these two teams played right here, Bellis Field and Maloney Stadium, Ridge scored late to make it 14-13, opted to go for 2 and the lead. They were stuffed. It was 14-13. Tried an onside kick, did not work. Eventually got the ball back. And then on like the little razzle-dazzle, hey, last play of the game, let's see what happens. Peterborough got the loose ball, took it in to win 20-13. That's how close that was. But I bring it up because in that situation, it was we're not going to kick for the tie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's still only the third quarter. Probably not in those scenarios just yet. But you never know with these teams. You have an opportunity to take a lead.
Which you don't know if you're ever going to get that chance.
You might take that.
And, a couple years back, I'm not sure what year it was, they went double overtime as well. So they've had some solid games, but I believe since 2003, 2004, I could be wrong on those numbers, I believe Ridge has only won one game out of 10 or one game out of 9 in this series, even though they've been close.
Yeah, and that's – I'm sure that's on the minds of at least the coaches. Players maybe not know that. The seniors might say, hey, this is our last chance to get these guys. You never know.
Olivo goes sideline. That was underthrown, but the reception was still made. And that's Ryan Turner on the catch.
Yeah, he had Jaquil Dooley all over him.
I can tell you this, Matt. For a team that runs the wing tee, maybe not running so much of the wing tee tonight. I mean, they are, but it's totally different. I mean, there's a lot of passing going on there.
Yeah, but we also kind of expected that, and Frank Duffy expected that as well. I don't think anybody's doing anything that's really surprising the other side tonight.
Here it comes. They tried that a couple of times, and again, it's Aiden Stiglitz, but all Peterborough jerseys coming up with there.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of snuffing that out. And it goes back to what we talked about with Coach Duffy before the game. He gave us the key of eye discipline.
Mm-hmm.
All right, define it.
Yeah,
and he did, and it was great. We gave it to you earlier. We'll talk about it some more. It's knowing your assignments, but also knowing where your eyes need to be, not getting caught up in anything, and knowing what you need to do. And so far, so good on some of these plays.
So 3rd down and 4. All Olivo. And Olivo pushes forward and will get the first. Well, it's on the spot. No significant. It looks like it is from here, but let's see where they spot this one. It's going to be close.
It depends which official we're looking at.
Right. They may measure this one. They are. So originally, I thought it was a first down. Then when they marked it, I think it's closer than you think.
The line judge on the far side looked to be in position of if we're going by his foot, it would be there.
This is short.
I think this is short based off of the spot. All the modern technology that we have, we still judge these things with a chain and 2 sticks. I don't know what the alternative would be, but that's still what we do.
It could be a chain and 3 sticks.
Oh, now you're getting crazy.
All right, let's take a look.
I've spent a lot of time on sidelines. I don't trust the people who are putting them. Wow.
So the State Liners hold. I thought that was 3rd down. That was 4th down.
I'll be honest. I thought it was 3rd down, too.
I'm a little baffled there, to be honest with you.
I wasn't going to admit it, but since you did.
Okay. All right, it was 4th down.
Big stop there.
I think I got confused myself. That's huge stop.
I'll tell you what, been backtracking the whole second half here.
And we will again. Yep,
but
you're back in where you were.
To give up that onside kick, and we talk about, Lady Momentum, she was getting ready to go on the other side.
No damage done.
She's back over here.
Yeah, no damage done if you're Peterborough. You dodged a bullet. So 2 minutes on the clock, 21-14 State Liners. We're in the 3rd with the ball, sitting at their own 38-yard line or so. And Ridge is really coming strong after the carry there by Caleb Rivera.
Well, I think he realized you're only going to get so many opportunities. And You wasted an opportunity with that short field off the onside kick.
Rivera goes down.
Looks like some more cramping.
Well, Matt, if we knew it was fourth down, you and I would have questioned that a little bit more, okay? Being that the ball is sitting there at the 40-yard line and you're, in a 7-point game.
Yeah, well, that might have been our bad on that one. But I tell you what, as we were saying at the time, I'm looking at the line judge on the far side.
Yep.
He was in position that I thought it was a first. The one from the near side was a little further back. I guess that's the one that they went with. Where the ball was marked, clearly we saw it was short.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe it was. And again, it's not, we're watching it, you're watching it back at home or wherever you're watching it. It's where the ball is for the carrier.
Correct.
It's not the helmet. If they reach, so be it. And maybe that was a time to reach a little further, but it's where the ball is, and sometimes it's shaded from us a little bit.
So he's up on his feet, and I just want to point down there. These last three cramping almost like timeouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though, the guy's in pain or whatever, they're going over to talk to their coaches. Remember, people wasted a timeout early in their opening drive. So they have 2 versus Ridge 3. Does that come into play? We'll have to wait and see. Ooh, that was close. He got rid of it at the last second.
Flag. So did the official with the flag. But it was close to being a sack. I'm wondering if that's going to be an intentional grounding. It did not get to the line of scrimmage.
Yep. That's what they're going to call. How about the pressure there by Ridge?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was watching Genovese. I didn't get the defensive player.
Chris Oliver, 6'4", 240. We're kind of seeing a lot of these players. Really, sometimes you don't talk about the linemen or whatever, but you're seeing them really come to play tonight.
So you lose the down, you lose the yardage.
Yeah, third down. The first down mark is at the 48.
It's 3rd and 20. And that's a big opportunity here for Ridge. First time we've seen 3 wide, huh?
Yeah, Genovese going to try to get that back with a little bit, but not much there. Maybe gets 5 yards or so. He's taken down on the play. He'll bring up 4th down. The punting unit will come in for the State Liners with 1:01 on the clock.
You try a little spread offense there, and you try to catch him napping. Tough to get 20 on that one. They only got 4. But watch on the near side, Nate Schneider, number 50. He's gotten close. Both sides, I think they're going to send him.
I agree. Here they come again. Gets it off.
Not the best. Went to the far side and out of bounds.
And we got another player cramping for Phillipsburg. He's going to try to make it to the sideline. Now he's okay. Nope. He's going to get there. And when you get those cramps, you feel it. He made it to the sideline. Yeah. And he's like, just, hey, stretch me out here. Drops to the ground. And who is that? That's Ricky Krause.
Krause recovered the fumble earlier. And the good thing is, it's, for the most part, it appears to be cramping.
Correct.
So, nobody's getting too dinged up. It hurts in the moment. And it's something you got to keep an eye on the rest of the day, the rest of the evening.
Only 1 touchdown scored in this half, and it came by the Red Devils. They'll pitch this one back and try to get some on the yard. That could be the last play of the quarter after the run by Will Deedy. And Deedy will get about 7.5 or so. I don't think they'll run another play. So they're going to let the clock wind down. They get a 5-yard touchdown by Olivo. His second touchdown of the day came at the 4:18 mark. And the horn sounds here at Maloney Stadium. We've got a good one cooking as we go to the 4th. 21-14 State Liners. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
At St. Luke's Orthopedic Care, you can trust us with your hands, feet, shoulders, hips, and knees. Because healthy bones and joints mean you can do more. You can trust us to recommend the right approach to care, including joint-sparing treatments and therapies. And when surgery is the only choice, we offer options to help you heal faster, including technology-assisted joint replacements and muscle-sparing hip surgery. St. Luke's, the orthopedic care you trust, now more than ever.
We are back here at Maloney Stadium, Bellis Field. So glad you could join us. Al DiCarlo, Matt Marcus, Sports Fan Base Network in the house as well. Our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. We'll get Matt's thoughts of the first three quarters after this play and on the handoff. And initially they get him, but they don't after that. Dede gets through and gets the first down through the change. Your thoughts through three?
I think we're seeing a different team on the Ridge sideline than we saw through the first two quarters. That third quarter, we really saw a difference. We'll have a little bit more time to talk. Is this Rivera again? Can't say for sure because he's on his back, but now maybe I jinxed things earlier when I said, hey, remember last year when it took 3 hours to play because everybody kept cramping up?
Well, we just started the fourth quarter, so you're kind of expecting that on a warm night. We talked about as we get to the Lehigh Valley and District 11 teams, battle of undefeated teams, Blue Mountain and Northwestern. It goes to Northwestern. They win by the score of 28-21. So that was a game that everyone expected to be close, and it was close, and they get the win there by a score of 28-21. So Northwestern with the win goes to 3-0 on the season.
Yeah, we mentioned how it seems like this is a little earlier than normal to be playing the second game in New Jersey, and maybe I'm wrong with that. They did start a week after the Pennsylvania teams, but, after this weekend, the PA team's already 3 games in.
Yeah.
It seems like they do start earlier and earlier, and you got to start making some moves.
Absolutely. Support for the D11Sports.com Game of the Week comes from Sandrine and Gutierrez, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley and Easton. For all your investment needs, call Sandrine and Gutierrez at 610-559-6391. Located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. 21-14 your score.
So if you're Ridge here, clock is running, you may not get too many opportunities.
Yeah.
If you don't punch this in, you take some time off the clock.
So on the handoff and a burst of speed coming out of that backfield was Ryan Turner. So different legs in the backfield, but a huge pickup there on first down.
Yeah, big chunk yardage that we just didn't see in the first half, really for either team. Yeah, that first quarter especially scoreless, talked a couple times, maybe, I'm not say jitters, but different kind of system set up because we were starting a little later. Took a little while to get the legs underneath them.
Second down, Turner again. And it'll be short. They'll bring up a third down. You have 2 downs here to get it. They were going to go when we didn't know about it from the 45, so figure now they're going for it at any point.
Well, like I started to say before, you get to a point where if you come up empty here and you give Phillipsburg a long field, they could take a lot of time. Now, they haven't so far this second half, but they could take a lot of time. You may not get too many chances to punch it in.
Well, crowd knows what's at stake here as they're getting loud here at Maloney Stadium. I think they jumped. Yeah, there's the flag.
Well, somebody's at least paying attention.
Yep, false start.
Not necessarily the players there. It's 3rd and 2, very different from 3rd and 7.
So, we talk about the crowd a lot, and the passion that the fans have. I don't care what stadium you're at. Obviously, the crowd helps, right? And you saw they know what's going on. And give that penalty to the crowd.
It's what Friday Night Lights is all about,
it.
right? It's the community. And this community bleeds garnet and gray. The Ridge community is, even though they're the Red Devils, they bleed their green.
So 3rd down, 7 on the pitch back. Oh, wow. Scope that one. That was never in doubt.
Peaburg has done a nice job, whether we knew it or not, but even in the first half, coming up big plays. We talked about before, and it became a moot point, but it's like, would you go for it on 4th and 8? I need some yardage. Well, this is 4th and 7, but I just got done saying, first of all, this is one you go for.
Right.
Because you're not in position to kick a field goal. A punt is not going to give you too many yards.
Do you go to hard count here and try to get 5 of those yards back? You have 3 timeouts.
You might need all 3, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Depending. I would do it, but you only have 5 seconds before you lose 5 more yards.
You're right. 4th and 8, not doing it at all. They're going to throw. Levo, and that one overthrown. I think the receiver went down. That was Ryan Turner. He was on his knees, tried to get back up, couldn't make the play.
Yeah, just a real tough situation there in a bad spot, and I don't know if it was miscommunication. He wasn't really looking for the ball at that time. They tried to go quick. Thought he was in a good spot of the field to gain that first down, but a big stop there for Peaburg. And now, so you've taken 3 minutes. Ridge took the first 3 minutes of the quarter. If Peaburg takes another 4 or 5, whether they score or not, you're only going to have 4 or 5 to do your thing.
You're correct. Now,
I'm good at math.
Yes, but this becomes interesting, this play. Everybody's expecting run, right? Let's see if they run.
Yeah.
So they do run. Sometimes, when you're expecting it that much, I know these teams. They just try to get you with something. And if they're running now, they're running here.
And sometimes as broadcasters, you just try to say, hey, watch this. Every now and then we nail it. You nailed the razzle-dazzle at the end of the first half.
Not this one, huh?
Which was incredible.
It's 1 for 2, 1 for 2.
Hey.
Still 500.
That's not bad. That's not bad. But I understand what you're saying, and maybe at some point you go a little play action and try to hit Skirbo across the middle. You do like a little West Coast offense to where it's a running play with a pass, like short yardage.
Largo, and he'll be about a half yard short. One thing that we've seen, not in this drive, ironically, but once we have seen is the Red Devils defense has really gotten to the quarterback when he's trying to pass, so they've taken that away a little bit.
Yeah, you got to, and that's kind of where I call it the West Coast offense. You got to have those quick slants. You got to get it out of his hands quick enough. We saw it earlier with a play to Skirbo on the near side. That was in the first half.
Matt, I always like speculating. You don't get it here. What happens?
Oh, you got to punt. Unless you're stopped by like an inch. I don't
think he's just going forward here. And we'll get the first down, so the point is moot. No matter.
That's been the case for most of the night.
Again, move the chains. Clock starting to tick. You mentioned Rich has the 3 timeouts. They know, hey, stop them here. Then we'll have all the time in the world to have that opportunity to score one time and decide what they want to do.
It's been 21 for Peaburg since the end of the first half.
Mm-hmm. Literally, the end of the first half.
So we're almost a quarter and a half into the second half. Almost, let's say, close to 20 minutes, just shy. Peaburg hasn't scored. Ridge's defense has been better, and really, they gave up a fluke play and short fields.
On the ground, and another 10 yards is Rivera. So really moving the ball around are the State Liners here on this drive, and they move the chains again, or do they? Nope, they'll be about hard short.
Last year, here's some drama. Last year, 6:23 left in the game.
Oh, we're there. We're almost
Caleb Rivera ran for 45 yards and a touchdown.
Hold on, 6:23. This is going to happen exactly at the same time.
And
it's going to be 44 yards.
A yard short.
All right, let's see. Matt Mark is calling this one.
I didn't say it was going to happen. I was just giving you the facts.
Do you want it or not?
Oh, yeah, I do.
To the house. Here we go. Second down and a long 2. And Wargo will get the first down, still on his feet, pushes forward and get down to the 35. I don't know what you're talking about.
It would have been poetic. If Wargo did it from 44 out, I was still going to get half credit.
Yes.
But just moving the chains, and now we're 3 minutes off the clock extra.
You said it before. You look at Ridge, the interceptions, popping off a defender, the fumble recovery, it's sitting there. They made the mistakes. They had the mistake that the ball's there maybe for a catch and an 8-10 yard gain, and all of a sudden it becomes an interception. And both of those turnovers is 14 points for Phillipsburg.
Yeah, they're going to look back at the missed opportunities.
From the 36, they keep it on the ground. Not much there on the carry by Rivera.
We talked with Coach West before the game. Last year you have that 98-yard kickoff return. It doesn't always happen in a game. You had the 45-yard run. Just a couple minutes after that, it was a 60-yard pick six. You lose by 18 points, but there's 3 touchdowns right there that totaled over 200 yards, almost 250 yards. Like, if you limit those mistakes last year, you're in the game. You limit the mistakes tonight, you're in the game. There's a reason he gave us protect the football on offense as a key, and it hasn't worked for them.
2nd down and 9. Margot take a couple more yards of that and gets closer to that 30-yard line.
And here's where I was talking about the previous possession for Ridge. We're closing in on 4.5 minutes. They're going to take as much time as they can before they snap the ball. So we're looking at another 5-minute drive. Even if you stop them here and get the ball, you're going to have less than 4 minutes to get down the field. Can they do it? Absolutely. But this is where 3rd down, you've got to have, it's got to be a loss for yards or no gain, and you've got to make it a difficult 4th down.
And pushing through somehow. A lot of that yardage got taken back by Genovese, just flying through the middle with the ball. And will be short of the 1st down, but close to it.
But you're close enough that you're going to hand the ball off to Big 34 in Wargo, and you're going to basically run out the clock right here. If it was 4th and 7, you've got a chance. That's why you had to make a big stop on 3rd down, and it didn't happen. 4th and short, 4th and an inch maybe. I'm giving it to Wargo and let him get me 3-4 yards, if not more.
Late getting in. Well, they're going to have to snap this ball too. Push through, nothing yet. And that should be enough. Now, wow.
It depends.
They didn't spot this really well.
No, they did not. I think it's enough, but they made it very difficult. Let's see exactly where they put the ball down.
I mean, where they look like they're going to spot it as the player's still down, it's going to be as tight as you're going to get it. It's going to be short.
Now, he didn't need to get to the 25. He needed to get past the 26.
Oh, yeah, correct. You're right.
It was a lot closer than it should have been.
Yep, I agree with that. So they move the chains. Clock starts to roll. And the ball sits at the 25-yard line. Now, all of a sudden, you got to decide when you're going to use these timeouts.
That's why you needed to score the previous possession, because you may not get the ball back.
And right now, if you're Phillipsburg, you are running and running.
2 hands on the ball at all times.
They're going to wait for that back judge maybe.
Lower your shoulder and just go.
Rivera.
And look how he's cradling it. Both hands there.
You got to burn a timeout here. Yep. Yeah, they're going to get the timeout here with 3:02 on the clock.
You have any more questions?
No, I don't. Timeout brought to you by Culligan Water. Oh, yes, I do. Culligan Water asks, when's the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information. Visit yourwater.net for more information. You're all over this. See, you just, you come with some information. You come with
on my first radio.
A couple jokes every now and then. St. Luke's, the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries. St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management with sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. During these extraordinary times, you trust St. Luke Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care.
3 minutes left. 2nd and 8. You get a stop, but this is really your last chance.
Yep, no question. So on the ground. Oh, he takes it himself and now fires through. Now you'll take your timeout. Now, you pop open there for Genovese's. I don't know if it's a cramp. He came up and went right back down. Now, this is interesting. The timeout was called, however.
Somebody else is having a cramp on the far side.
Okay.
But it was.
Yeah, but it was a timeout called. And I don't know if he got stepped on. It looks like I wasn't sure there because right when he got tackled, he went down. But, we've been seeing some of this. And we hope that's all it is.
Yeah, we just got done saying, 2nd and 8, Ridge needs some stops. Maybe if you can turn the possession soon. Last thing I would have done is run 4 yards backwards even further before he moved up a little bit.
For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have a current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. Timeout brought to you by Culligan Water. Culligan Water asks, when is the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information. Yourwater.net. Did he have to come out of the game? He did not. Okay, because there was a timeout there. So Genovese still in there. 3rd down and 12. He's going to throw. It was a cramp, and
there was a false start.
Wow.
It was the receiver on the far side. It might have been Skirbo. Jumped back a little early, so you went from 2nd and 8 to 3rd and 12. It's now going to be 3rd and 17. Now it's less than 3 minutes to go, but if you can get a stop here, you're not going to have many timeouts, but you might have the ball and a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Said it before, all you need is a chance.
That's it.
Especially with the team, late first half. They didn't have a lot of time when they moved down the field. They punched it in, and unfortunately the 47 seconds was too much to leave for Phillipsburg and the trick play.
You putting the ball in the air here? Every second counts, right?
I mean, they didn't on 3rd and 20, so I don't know that they would on 3rd and 17.
Not sure what the... So, yeah, 3rd down and 17 to ball to 27. Not sure what the discussion is down in the field.
So here's the thing, too, that we haven't really discussed yet. How much lead does the kicker?
I know what it is. The scoreboard has them still with 2 timeouts. They called a timeout. Their second timeout they called, and then there was...
Did they rescind it for the injury?
I don't know, and that's what I think the question was. So there could be 2 timeouts still left.
So they've just lost 9 yards on plays and penalties. I don't know how much their leg the kicker has. If you want to try to extend the lead at some point.
Now they're going to try to get some on the run. Rivera busts through, and Rivera gets a chunk of that back to the 25-yard line. It would be a 42-yard field goal. And the timeout. See, I don't think they have timeouts left. The scoreboard has 1. I think 0. I think he called the timeout before Genovese went down with the cramp.
Well, there was another
player on the other side of the field, too.
Konovalov was also cramping for them. And that might have been some of the confusion. So 4th and 9. Now the dilemma, you just asked me to put it in the air. If you're not going to go for the kick, you go for the kick and you make it, you put the game out of reach just with those 3 points.
Too far.
It is too far because you're going to give the ball right there with over 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, too far.
But if you put it in the air and miss, same result. If you put it on the ground and miss, you at least take up a little bit of time, but not a lot.
I go for Skirbo here. Pass interference.
Jump ball?
Yeah, anything like that. See if you get a call or not. Again, they have a lot of different weapons. Burgess can do his thing, and, Matos has made some plays, so we'll see what happens here.
Crazier things have happened in this game alone, so I wouldn't bet against any of them.
So 4th down and 9. The ball sits at the 25 here from Maloney Stadium. Big play. Genovese gets hit as he throws, and that one is almost, well, I don't know if he probably didn't try to get the interception anyway. That was Ryan Olivo. Then there's flags everywhere.
Ooh. That's a late flag.
Wow.
They're calling pass interference. You nailed it. You're now batting .667.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, do it. He almost got flattened there.
You know, he caught that late, but, I mean, he was on his back, right?
Yeah. I mean,
that's flags, though, came in late, though. That gets your, if you're the opposing coach and, you see that, you're like, hey, come on, they threw the flag like 2 hours late. But it looked like from that angle that he may have been on his back before that ball got there.
I mean, yeah, they're both going for the ball, but you can't go through the defender.
Correct.
To get there. They frown upon that. Now a fresh set of downs.
I mean, that could do it right there, right? Again, the scoreboard still has them for one timeout. We have them for none, depending on what happens there. That being said,
I don't think that's going to matter.
It's not going to matter here.
I mean, you might just push it right in. Whether it's Rivera or Wargo, Genovese himself, they could still get 7 here.
Straight through the middle.
Now, I think we're in agreement. It was pass interference, but you do hate to see a game come down. How great would it have been just for the drama of the broadcast? 2:20-something, no timeouts left. Let's go down the field. That would have been cool.
Yes. Well, it could still happen. They make a play here.
Well,
but it wouldn't be with 2.
But, yeah, I mean, that's what you have to hope for.
Great coaching staff from his team, and I know that Kyle Fleming had talked about that, and I know Chris Labach, former Wilson coach, is on this staff as well. Known him a long time, and does a really good job of really motivating the players, and a big part of this as well. So I guess they did have that one timeout left. So,
sure.
Okay. Timeout, final one, I believe, taken by Culligan Water. They ask, when's the last time you had your water tested? Get a free in-home water assessment from Reynolds Culligan. Visit yourwater.net for more information. Culligan Water, I want to thank all our sponsors today. As usual, Culligan Water, St. Luke Sports Medicine, Morgan Stanley in Easton, and New York Life. And if you're looking ahead, which we can do now, the Red Devils, they host Hillsborough after 2 on the road at Huntington Central, Bridgewater, Raritan, South Brunswick, at Westfield, and Union. For Phillipsburg, more importantly here, closer to home, they go on the road for 2 at North Hunterdon and Hillsborough, come back on the 29th against Huntington Central, at Bridgewater, Raritan, then Union at home, East Brunswick at home, and then a little game on Halloween. So you didn't get that. See?
Oh, I got
it. Oh,
it.
you got it.
I got it.
All right. Thanksgiving with Easton at Lafayette College.
I was thinking, how is it Tuesday?
Is it?
Yeah, it's my daughter's birthday.
Okay, 3rd down. They can't get a first down without a touchdown. That's Rivera, and Rivera will inch closer.
I think they just did.
Let's see what that spot is.
You talk about the coaching staff. There's a lot of veteran coaches, coaches that have been on this sideline for a long time. Frank Duffy was here for a while before becoming the head coach, so they did not get the first down there.
So they can get a first down again without a touchdown. It's 4th down and 1.
Touchdown is devastating. A first down is devastating. The only thing you can hope for is to stop them short.
They're going to milk the clock here. They could even pound a timeout here, and I think they will. So they'll get the timeout and then run one play. I mean, technically, you start looking at punching in. You're in that situation right now, 4th down and 1. Penn State thought when they punched the game in. Your thoughts on that one? Do you see Penn State? You see the end of the Penn State game? I know you're a big Penn State guy.
I don't watch those guys.
You being a Notre Dame guy. James Franklin catching some heat on that one. So 21-14. Yeah, true. Take you through the scoring while we have a minute. After a Patrick Day interception of Olivo, it led to a 4-yard touchdown. Genovese to Matt Skirbo Jr. in the back of the end zone made it 7-0. That was at the end. That was at the beginning of the second quarter. Then Ricky Krause, a fumble recovery, led to a John Wargo 4-yard touchdown, made it 14-0. 8-yard touchdown run by Ryan Olivo, 14-7. And then the last play of the half, they went with a hook and ladder, and it was ended up 49 yards. Genovese to Skirbo, pitched it back to Burgess, went in for the score. It was 21-7 at the half. 4:18 on the clock. 5-yard touchdown by Olivo, 21-14. And here it is, 4th down and 1. For the State Liners, trying to put this one away, and they power forward. And they don't get the touchdown, but they look like they got the first down. We'll wait for the exact signal, and then you'll hear the crowd roar because I think they got it. They didn't need much.
No, I think they did too.
But boy, there it is. So there's the first down.
Roar. Didn't get much from the crowd.
Yeah, you didn't. Crowd's on delay there. I don't know if they'll run another play.
So here,
do you punch it in here? I'm just asking the question.
I mean, they could take a knee.
They could take the knee. They don't have to. They don't really have to snap it.
They have to snap it unless they're going to get a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
It looks like victory formation, literally.
See, when you do that now, if you're P-Berg, sometimes I would punch. I would pop a timeout. See, this is what you don't want to happen.
Yeah, cooler heads are hopefully prevailing.
And I always said I never understood that part of it because you're wearing helmets, right?
Right.
And so they end up winding down the clock anyway here.
And classy move to take the knee. Ridge trying to do, it's desperation there. If we could maybe knock it out before he takes the knee, we'd have a few seconds, not much there. But classy, I mean, they could have easily punched it in and you win by 2 scores. Give them credit.
Yeah, 21-14 your final score as State Liners go to 2-0 on the season. They'll shake hands. We'll see how quick Dave Micah is.
Oh, I'm looking at him. He's not that quick.
No, he's not moving. Dave's going to see if he can get coach right away, but I don't see that happening.
So here's my question. The hook and ladder.
Yes.
Did that take away the touchdown pass? That becomes a run, doesn't it?
I believe it, yes.
So it's 10 yards of a pass completion.
Or a little bit more than that, whatever
Give
that
or
was.
take.
And then the run after that.
So I think we lose a.
Nice job, guys.
I think we lose or Genovese loses the touchdown pass, but he gets the victory, and that's more important.
So the the players as they do, which I think is the best thing in the world. They go in with the band, they go in with the cheerleaders, and just enjoy the moment.
When your athletic director comes from being the band director, you kind of have to go to the band,
That's
right?
true, that's true, that's true.
Is that in the contract?
Yeah, that's probably part of it.
But I tell you what, high school, college, there's nothing better than winning a game and going to your band, going to your student section, but you go to the band, the students are behind them, and whether it's the fight song or the alma mater, it's good stuff. That's what high school sports are all about.
Yeah, no doubt. So we're waiting for coach and player, and I think we're going to have to wait a little longer. I think he's going to end up talking to him, which we could have actually kicked out this interview quick, but I tell you, they're enjoying it. It's a home win at the same time.
And you know what? We got the game in.
Yes.
Our picture-perfect night was just that. The window opened up for us. It was touch and go there for a little while, I think we'd all admit. Maybe more than we wanted to admit. What a great game, though.
So we'll wait for Coach Duffy to talk to his players, so we could be here for a while. Obviously, you and I, when we talk about this, want to make sure that Dave, I know Dave's waiting for Coach. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the player of the game and the winning head coach. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Back after this.
I believe that St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that a student athlete would want. Hopefully they come to us and they leave and there's not another need to be filled. Your daughter or son's team can come to us and we provide it all.
On the ground, go!
The team atmosphere and the team that we have put together of sport performance coaches and athletic trainers is why parents should choose St. Luke's University Health Network for their sport performance needs.
There's not another orthopedic group, sports medicine group, healthcare system in the country that has high-level, degree certified, years of experience.
Bench, hip thrust, or floor, we know what block A is, and then let me get another group of 7.
Certified athletic trainers and the performance coaches are assigned to schools and they are there and they are getting the teams and doing team training around sports schedules and the student activity schedules. That's primarily where it's done. We also provide training here, like at this facility. We provide a comprehensive training program that is the most up-to-date training advancements. It's the safest it can be.
We got our A walks. Remember, good.
Not about gimmicks. Our guys are all educated and have the science behind what they're doing, a rhyme or reason to what they're doing. And we have leadership that will make sure that we're going to provide the best service there is. We actually care about your kids.
Focusing on getting my butt back and my chest up.
People don't know how to use this stuff. And so you need someone to teach them and to help them navigate it in a way that's going to be productive, that's not going to hurt them.
They trust me to put together a workout, and they're always asking questions about it, which is great. You know, I wanted them to have that trust that, you know, I'm going to help them succeed on and off the court.
Every coach, every parent, they want what's best for their student. Okay? They want what's going to help them be the best version of themselves. And so that's what we can provide. I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
We are back. Coach Duffy talking to his team. Has to be, as I'm saying that, he's yelling at him like this, right? You know, again, as he talks to him finishing up there, I always say one thing, and I think every coach does it. They will take everything positive from this win, but as a coach, you try to take anything negative you can because, you know, you always have to improve, and you're going to hear that from the coach as well. But he's got to be happy about the way his team came to play today to get that victory.
You can teach better after a loss. You can teach better after mistakes. You know, you win a game 50-0. It's like, oh, man, like it's hard to keep players down. In this game, there were mistakes. They had to fight and claw their way through this one. And their scores, 2 of them were gifted after turnovers, and the third one was one of the craziest plays you're going to find. There's a lot that you can coach on, and I think the coaches are very pleased with that. Hey, a win is a win. You're never going to turn one down, but when you can teach after a win, that's even better.
Coach Duffy making his way over to Shannon Bicker, our student reporter from Phillipsburg, and we go down to the field now with Shannon. Shannon?
Hi, I'm Shannon Bicker, and I am here with Phillipsburg's head coach, Frank Duffy. What does this victory mean to you and the team?
I just love the way our guys finished, and you saw that at the very end, just pounding the football, playing Phillipsburg football. But just to stick together, had a lot of adversity throughout the game, but we finished both halves on a high note. Being able to score before the half, before we went in, and obviously being able to run the football and play Phillipsburg football to kill the clock is. I'm real proud of our guys and how they finished.
What would you like to continue to do in the game next week against North Hunterdon?
We have so many mistakes. We got to look back at the film, and we have so many mistakes in all 3 phases: offense, defense, and even the kicking game. So we got to clean that up, and we will. We'll watch the film tomorrow and clean it up. Make sure we're ready for next week.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, Shannon, thanks a lot. and we'll get ready to throw it down to Sam Stinson. Sam Stinson is down on the field, and he's with our player of the game. Sam?
Right up there. I'm here with the player of the game, Jet Genovese. Jet, how do you feel out there?
Felt good. That's a good team over there, but proud of the way you guys fought, and I think we did a good job.
What do you think you guys need to prepare for the next game away at North Hunterdon?
Just a lot to build off of. Obviously 2-0 is not anything that we're happy about, so we just got to keep going. Just got to keep working.
All right, great game out there. Back to you guys.
All right, Sam, thanks a lot. I think he meant 2-0 is happy that he's 2-0, right?
Well, I think what he's trying to say is this isn't the end goal. Like, we're not just happy we're 2-0. Yes, it beats 0-2. It beats 1-1 like in the other locker room. But this is a team that it's about more than just August and September wins.
No question.
And, this is a proud program. We've talked all night about that.
How many wins do they have now?
729.
There you go.
And counting.
And counting. There you go. That'll do it for tonight. Final score, once again, 21-14. I want to thank Kyle Fleming for his hospitality and the 6-foot hoagie that I've had here probably for 12 years, I think. I want to thank Sean Riley, his team, Sports Fan Base Network, doing a great job as well, and everyone here at Phillipsburg. Matt Marcus, our student reporters down the field from Phillipsburg, and Sam Stinson and Shannon Bicker, Dave Micah. Hope you enjoyed it. Final score, once again, 21-14. Next week, we'll head north as we'll have Pocono Mountain West and East Stroudsburg South. That will do it for tonight. 21-14, your final. You've been watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Have a great night.